Claudio.
2.
You should now be on the live screen as well. Turn the sound down.
Julie made these. Spiky. Oh, hello. Nice little spiky dance.
Right, is everyone's sound off that's watching it? Because it's going to be
Yep.
really annoying.
I've got the control box.
Somehow we have less viewers. I'm watching.
Oh, that's probably because I locked my phone.
Did you mute it? As well, if you mute it, you have to have it on the mode. And that's on the screen. Awesome. Shit.
Alrighty then.
Right, okay, so I haven't DM'd for any of you before.
No, at all.
No.
So basically, I like to make sure everyone has a good time, and if something sounds cool, as long as it sounds like it could work, then I'm quite happy to
That means
let
it'll
you
work well for
try
us.
and make it work. But obviously, if it's ridiculously unrealistic and whatever.
So at some point I will need to talk to you about my magic stone and my bag of ball bearings, but it's
Yeah, things like that.
Magic
So,
stones are amazing.
obviously, the way that we've started this so far, you've all got like 2 secrets each. You may have repeat secrets, you may not. So you might have a secret in common with someone else. You don't have to keep it a secret if you don't want to. It's just your current secret, and you can play that how you like. It's just there as an extra layer to help you kind of be emotive to certain things that happen in the story. You don't even have to do anything with it if you don't want to, but you've got the secret there as part of your backstory. It's quite important for me to know before any sessions if you have any triggers or anything that people don't like playing or really don't want to do or don't want as far as themes go and other things. So now's a really good time to tell me that before we go into it. It's quite a gothic, not gothic horror, but it's like a horror theme, themes of isolation and things like that. So if there's anything that you think...
I'm really scared of dying in D&D. It triggers me massively. Is there any way we can prevent that?
Yeah, I'd pre-roll a character now
Yeah.
that you may need to use in the future. That's probably the best way around that. But yeah, so if there's anything, even if you don't want to talk about it now, just make sure you've told me before the next session, because obviously when we start the campaign proper, it may come up if I don't know about it. So we've said that bit. You all have characters that largely haven't come into contact with each other before the start of this campaign. So what I'd like to do today is work out why you might all be together for whatever reason. Okay? So the first thing I need to do, and I've waited for today to do, is to roll up which of the 10 towns you are in. So the map's here. Every one of you have a reason to be at least comfortable with where each of the 10 towns are. You've all been here for more than a few days. There's a reason for you to know where each of these 10 towns are. So that's the map. Any places we talk about, stop me if you're not sure where it is, and we'll point out the map and make sure everyone knows what's going on. Obviously, if the town I roll now is the town that you start in, then there's not a lot for you to worry about in the backstory, but we might need to work something in for anyone that isn't already there. So I'll just double check. Okay, so
in the 10 towns.
this will potentially change quite a lot of what happens this roll. Okay, so we are starting in Targos. You can see it just here. So if you're already near there, like at least one, if not 2 of you started in Bremen, so it could be reasonably easy to work out why you might be there. But yeah, if you just want to have a think about why you might be there based on what you already know about your character. Just go to the page and make sure I'm not missing anything. I really encourage as well, if your character is doing something that you don't want people to know about, rather than just expecting people to hear something and ignore it, just send me a private message, even if it's during the game. I'd rather do it that way because I think it's better for everyone to do it that way. And obviously we might be online for some of this anyway, depending on how restrictions go after Christmas.
Yeah.
So everyone can see that there is a picture of the logo. Each town has like a logo or a flag or a shield. So that is the Targos shield. I'll send that picture to everyone. It may become apparent depending on which story arc you go with. So it's a picture of a ship with one sail. Anything you need to know before starting about this place? In every town, they give a score of friendliness, services, and comfort. And the score is out of 3, 3 being the best it could be in 10 towns. And so Targos has a friendliness score of 2, a services rating of 3, and a comfort rating of 2. So it's, of all the towns, it's one of the kind of nicer, more comfortable towns to be in. Not that that says a lot about Icewind Dale. It's quite cold, it's quite uncomfortable, it's quite difficult, but of the 10 towns, it's one of the probably more comfortable ones. Population of about 1,000 people. Everyone would know the speaker's name there, because that's like knowing the equivalent of your mayor when there's only a few of you that live in a town. So this is, the speaker's name is Nerth Maxil Danar, which is a human. And he won the speakership because of his popularity with the fissures, which would be quite common knowledge. So yeah, the important part of that logo is a single-sailed black ship facing to the right on a blue or light blue shield, and it represents the town's pride in its fishing fleet.
Cool.
It's sacrificed to Auril, so I'm going to read a bit about Auril shortly, but basically every town has to provide a sacrifice to Auril, and this town sacrifices a humanoid to appease Auril, and it's a regular occurring thing, so everyone would know that. And the rival towns to this town, so the ones that there might be issues with or have a rivalry with, would be Bremen, Lonelywood, and Tourmaline. So that's all information that you'd all be aware of. And we'll go into more of that obviously when we start next week. If I turn this over, it's just here, so that's just a slightly more detailed look at the town I'm starting in. Cool. So got a bit more information there. And there isn't anything on there that you wouldn't know, so feel free to look at any of the other towns. Cool, so I want to go through your characters now, and obviously just stop me at any point, so I'll just go to the first one I've got here, it's Sid. So is there anything that you need to know or have to learn beforehand? Or
I don't think so.
What, in fact, actually, rather than do it this way, the best way to do this is, let's decide on a way that you might all meet up. Now, I'm quite happy to go with the standard people are sat in a pub, and that's where we can start the session next week. Or if you want me to do something a little bit more interesting, I can do. If there's any areas that people have that are common that you might be, now it's quite a good time to talk about it, but obviously don't say anything you don't want people to know about your character.
Well, by trade, I'm a trapper. So, in order to facilitate that, obviously I'm out in the wilds trapping. Depending on the location, I might move between towns, wares, and goods, where I can get the best prices for things. So, I'm not a resident of Targos, but I'm a face that might be known if people want pelts or meat or anything like that. I've probably, got some good to sell.
Cool. I'm a sailor, so I pretty much just ended up there. Well, I stopped sailing. I'm now a fisherman. So I probably live
Fish has
in.
obviously got a big
Yeah.
part of Targos.
Yeah, so-
Is it Bremen you're from?
I don't think.
I think it was on where I sent you on private message. Did we not? I thought
No,
was
it just said 10 towns. I became. I did not bought a house for a fishing boat. 10 towns and became a fisherman.
One second, I thought we worked out a starting time for you. I know we did with Flash. And I sent you some pictures of the town and where it was. Yeah. Yeah, you are in Duggan's Hole, is where you started.
This one.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
I do know you've mentioned it, I just somehow haven't written that in.
For some reason, actually, I have a circle Bremen in your picture. Don't know why. That's why I thought you were Bremen.
So which one, Duggan's Hole?
So you're quite far south
Yeah.
from Thailand.
So what would I be doing in Targos then?
I guess fishing is a good
Yeah.
reason for you to
Yeah.
be there.
If it's a big
So-
fishing place.
And given where you are and where the water is and everything, you've either got Redwaters, which is near you. So we should probably think of a reason why you wouldn't be at Redwaters, which would maybe that it's not a good season for Redwaters, possibly, or you're having issues getting fish, so you've gone to.
Yeah, or maybe
You go to one. and
the
come back.
fishermen in Targos are struggling at the moment. There's, they need extra hand.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just where it's selling best at the moment.
Yep. So which do you like to see your story? If you're a good fisherman, maybe you've got some
Let's
fish that
go
they
with
don't get.
let's go with the they need help.
Okay. Okay. Right. Agron. So you were Bremen, weren't you?
I was.
So you're quite close. I think there's quite a few reasons why. Is there anything you'd like to
I was
suggest?
travelling to pick up supplies.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe to be slightly different, it might be sounding like the market might be quite a good place for everyone to be at the moment. I think there's a reason for you all to be at kind of a market kind of environment. Are you happy with that for your guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot mysterious.
I think we'd say you're a sailor.
Yeah.
Dressed as a sailor. Look like a sailor.
I'm like a sailor.
Yeah.
Is a
Smell
duck.
like
Definitely
Well, it's
smell
got
like a
wings.
sailor.
no, they're hidden.
They don't look very.
So when the wings are hidden, is it that you just put a big coat over them and try not to move them?
So I've got like a cloak rather than a coat.
So
you
are we?
passing for a hunchback or something?
Well, no, because I'm a.
They could go in.
In fact, I'll
How'd you say it again?
I'll take the conversation away because they wouldn't know you had wings for him. So let's carry on that separately. That's fine. That's the kind of thing we need to keep separate so you don't.
I mean, that would have given it away, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it gives that away, but the rest of the
Yeah,
questions are better to pull out.
That's cool.
So that's fine. So we're going to go with the market. So that's the one thing you've all got in common. Let's start in the morning, 10 a.m. So when we come back to the next session, it's 10 a.m. in the morning. You're at a market. Think of reasons why you might be at a market. Best one that suits your character is absolutely fine, and that's how we'll start when we come back to do it. So what I want to do now, forgetting the role play side of it, so don't worry about the role play element. What I want to do now is just have a bit of a random encounter, because I want to see what kind of fighters you are and how you're going to act, so I can start to make sure that everything is leveled correctly for what you're going to do.
Low level.
So, as I say, take the role play out of it. You're just playing your character how you think it would fight. Don't worry about the other elements of it. And let's pretend you're all on the same team and want the same thing. Which might not be the case for on Secrets. I get that when we actually come to do it. But that's where we're at the moment. So
Well, there's a fight broken out in the market, and
I'm going to suggest you're in a dungeon with some crazy little things. Each room's different. That's what I'm going to do. I just want to see how you react to certain things and what you want to use with your characters, because you've all made very different characters. And the flying element definitely changes a lot of what we can and can't do with how hard things might be. So I just want to kind of test out.
Do you know where the polishing liquid is? For the dice.
No. Jesus.
Hi.
It's wherever you put it.
No, because somebody's moved it.
Well, not me.
It was Hannah then, wasn't us.
Thanks, guys. Carry on.
Right.
I can't wait for next week. I'm just going to sit there and just like. harass them. In fact, we should all do that. Just watch the girls stream and just ping up messages that way.
Right, let's put you in the doorway. Nice and simple. Pop yourself all on that left hand side. Right.
So that confused me. You left and side.
Yeah, I was left where I was standing there, I realised. Cool. So you've got in front of you a big, heavy iron door on the side of a hill / mountain. It's quite a big hill, quite a small mountain, wherever you want to look at it. What do you want to do? You've been told there's gold inside. That's it.
What are the weather conditions like?
It's night time.
It's night time.
It's dark. There's no windows or grill or anything like that on the door. There is a keyhole, but the door's locked.
I'll have a quick
It is definitely locked.
Yes.
peek through the keyhole, see if there's anything they can see inside.
Roll perception.
Where is that?
Skills.
It's been that long. Perception +3 is 14.
14, that's with your modification, yeah?
Yes.
Cool. You see an empty room, as in there's no people inside it.
On the digital, I've got 50.
Seems to have broken.
And inside there you can see, so I'm explaining this to this lot.
That's what you can see.
Cool. So I've described that to you lot.
Well, given that this is Icewind Dale, it's probably fucking freezing outside. I suggest we find a way to get into
It's probably
this
not a bad
place
shout.
as quickly as possible.
Can we check the dots, see if there's any weak points we can break down?
We'll pick the lock.
I have a crowbar.
I also have a crowbar.
So which of those, because there's different things you want to do there. So
How is it hinged on?
two big raw iron hinges on the left-hand side of the door.
Are they pinned hinges?
Yep.
Do the crowbars to remove the things?
Yeah.
So that's the point you want to go for. Okay. Are you doing it on your own? Or are you both doing it together?
Take one hinge each.
Take one hinge each.
One each. Okay. Both of you roll a. It's going to be it's not a sleight of hand, is it, with a crowbar? What's the.
You just like leverage.
So it's, yes, it's athletics, isn't it? Is really the best one.
Will it not be strength?
That is a strength check.
70.
With a +3, you've got 7.
Okay. Reasonably easily, there's 3 pins on each part of the hinge. First 2 come off reasonably easily. Second one takes a bit, but comes away. Nothing. You can't even get the crowbar between the 2. I'm afraid.
Someone started following.
Oh, good. Sorry.
Hello,
That's a
see you
good sign.
follower.
That's a good sign. Cool.
Kitty.
So,
There's York something.
yeah, Kitty's already on. So there's one hinge off. It's a big heavy door. The other hinge hasn't moved. It's still there.
Mhm.
What would you like to do?
I'll try again with your help.
Yeah, if I reckon that is there anything about the second hinge that it's like rusted or jammed, or is it just
He failed.
Can you roll a
I felt very
perception check?
2?
You've no idea why it failed.
Then
It doesn't look rusty. Reasonably, if you can look.
if I can't get in sort of by the other hinge, then
I mean, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying he was unable to.
oh,
You
right.
can or you can't. He just was unable to. You were busy taking 3 pins out and you didn't get anything out. That's all you know so far.
I'll If I can make an attempt on the other hinge, I will.
Anyone else want to help him?
I'm going to try and help.
Okay. Are you proficient in athletics or strength?
Strength, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So you'll get advantage.
Oh, I get advantage.
23.
23. The hinge comes off. If anything, you'd probably suggest a crowbar might be done.
Yeah.
You've pulled the hinge off. The door's still standing, but it would come away if you wanted to pull it off.
Yeah, so if I grab, say, if you get the other end of the door, we can just move it out of place and then just prop it up behind us to try and keep the cold out.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
Cool. So both roll a strength check.
Strength check. 20. Dirty 20.
15.
Yep. It's a reasonably easy task. As soon as you didn't roll a 1, you weren't going to fail that.
That is.
Are you all stepping in before you pull the
I would like to check for traps.
How are you checking for traps? So, as in, are you just looking at the room? Are you going to investigate something? How do you want to look for these traps?
Never been asked that question before.
Because you can do it in different ways. I don't want to just assume what you're doing. Like, how would you look for a trap as your character? You just looking around. Okay, so roll a perception.
I
Roll a
get a
perception.
feather from somewhere and throw it in the room.
What I'm getting at
No
is,
one knows where the feather came from.
what I'm getting at is, are you
Box
just,
of it.
is it just a random? Is there anything here, or is there something specific you want to be looking out for? Like, for example, are you looking for a pressure point before you step on it? Or are you
Yeah.
looking for the whole room?
Yeah, I was
Right.
going to say, like,
So this is just the space that you're going into. Right, okay. Roll investigation then.
God damn it, these dice are shit. Perception.
It's Julia touch though.
Yeah,
Well,
but
she
they
made
working fine.
That'll be it.
She made them. It's even worse. 10.
10. It looks
So
like
middle of the board.
a stone floor.
Cool. I'm really being useful today.
I'm, as I said, fucking freezing. So if there's
Yeah,
no tracks apparent, I'm just gonna sort of shove, like, just try and hurry everyone into the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't want anyone getting hypothermia.
Does anyone
That
not
is
want to go
pain
into the
in
room?
ass.
Right, I'm going to go in.
I'll go in though. I'm going to go after.
Yeah, go on, put yourself in the order you're going to go into the room. That's probably the best thing to do.
If I'm holding the door, I'm probably going to be the last one.
Well,
Yeah.
me and you have got the door on me.
So you two first.
Between
I'm
you
wearing
two.
first, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, what happened there? We didn't even want to go in, and now we're
Come
going
on,
first.
come on then, Clokey.
Right, so pop yourself where you're finishing.
Can we move anywhere into the room?
Anywhere into the room.
Or go boxes?
Right, door's closed. Yeah, you just put it in place. You're not.
30,
Yeah.
so it'll be there.
What's the light level like in here?
There appears to be a torch on the right-hand side of the doorway as you look at the door.
Lit
The
or-
new doorway, sorry, the one that you.
Yeah.
This one there, yes. There's a torch there and it's lit. That's the only light in the room.
Cool. Well, I will
see quite well.
pull out one of my own torches and light it from that.
So I've got that. but-
Just pop
Yes.
yourself next to that door for me
It's the first time I don't have that.
and roll a perception check, please.
In fact, it's the first time I played a druid.
19. Yeah, 19.
You can hear what you definitely think is the crackling of a fire coming from somewhere the other side of that door.
Oh, if there's a fireplace lit, I will hold off on lighting the torch then, because that's going to be better warmth. And then I'll let everyone else know that I can hear fire somewhere on the other side of this door.
Can I investigate these boxes?
Yeah, pop yourself in front of the box. Is that the box?
Yeah,
in
I'm
front of
right
you?
in front of
That's the one you have a look at. Is anyone else doing anything else at the same time? I just want to make sure you're all in the right position. When,
Yeah.
yeah, so you look at a different one.
Go check the other one.
Yeah,
And I'm checking the little box in the chest.
If these guys are investigating the room, I'll try this door and see if I can sort of just peek through.
so there's again a keyhole. It's a wooden door, exactly as it looks on that model. There's a keyhole, and that's all you'll probably be able to see through. So you're looking through the keyhole.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's do it.
In a house like this.
Let's do it in this order because that's roughly the order around the room. So Sid, sorry, let's learn your name. Team players' names.
It's not hard. It's
Siddle. Yeah. Is it Sidal? Is that
Sidal.
how you Sidal? I'm going to put an
Imagine
accent over that.
Imagine if, but it came up as a suggestion with other names around. Well, I'm having that one.
Cool. So Cyril, if you could roll. Sorry, how are
I'm
you?
going to knock on it first, see if I can hear anything inside it.
Okay.
Don't know why. I just feel like
And
it's
the knock. Just do the knock on the table for me. The kind of. Okay. Roll a perception check. See if you hear or notice any response to it.
Nope.
Nope.
Cool. There's
Three.
no
It was
response.
a 3.
You don't notice anything. It's. Yeah. You just
And
don't
then
know.
I'll try and pry it.
So it would.
Is it
Do
good if
you
I
have a
crowbar?
crowbar?
I've got no crowbar or anything. So
If
does it
you're,
need prying
I
open
would
or?
offer you mine if you need one.
Okay, cool. If that's something we can
Yeah,
do.
you can use
Yeah.
crowbar. So if you, it will be again strength check.
Cool.
Nope.
6.
It's a stationary box, but it seems to be quite difficult to open. So I think for now, until we get around everyone else, you're just struggling to open it.
Cool, cool.
Next up, what do you
I
want
want
to
to just open it with crowbar.
do? Okay, you've got a crowbar.
Who's
Yeah,
your
I've got a
crowbar?
crowbar.
Who's your crowbar?
Roll a
Like
strength.
shit. Well, that's
Nice.
cool.
It's just-
Isn't it, sure?
Shreds
What,
it.
20?
Dirty 20. It opens, the lid pops off.
So what's in there?
At the moment, all you can see is like straw and stuff to the top. There could be things underneath it. You can't see anything.
Can I just slowly pull it out?
You just put your hand in and pull it out.
Slowly, yeah, like.
Because
put
with
it-
your height as well, that crate is the size the crate is.
Yeah,
So
put it
you
over.
just bring that.
Wait, so I can,
You're not jumping into
I
the
can
box.
barely even see it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
Yeah, I'm just.
Do you want me
slowly
to
pulling
reach
it
in? Do you want me to lift you up?
so you're pulling out the straw to see what's inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to ask for a hand for help see inside. Because I'm only just like.
Yeah, so I'll
Like
peer
So
it.
you're asking for the help.
Because if it's
Okay.
deep,
So yeah, I'll help him out. I'll
That's
peer. I'll
still
peer in.
next to me.
You're
You
just
can
you're
sort of-
looking in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look
At the moment it's straw, and the first thing you'll
I'm 7
cover.
foot.
I'm going to ask you to roll a dice for me. Is
There's a grenade.
Don't be a mimic, don't be a mimic.
Knowing D&D look, it'll not be any of the chests, it'll be the door that's the
it is a lamp. The first thing you come across, just a
Oh,
lamp,
lamp.
an unlit lamp, but it's there. It's got oil in it. It's just a lamp.
Alright, okay.
That's in the first third of the straw you've taken out.
Alright, okay. So how I can't physically.
So I guess I'm telling Cyril that who can see it.
Yeah.
You can see, I'm just.
Well, I've pulled that out.
I guess, are you helping with the straw? as
Yeah,
well?
I'll pull that lamp out and I'll give it to.
You carry on taking more out.
I've got. And yeah, I might as well help him out by taking some more out.
There's a small vial just
Okay.
there, just
Cool.
underneath where the lamp was.
Again,
It's
I'll pass
blue.
that on to him. He opens the box.
Yeah.
Nice person.
And again, you've got about another third.
Do we know
left
what this
of the
file is?
straw.
that- pull
It's
out?
not got a label on it.
Can anyone?
Can I do
Can
a
I work
medicine?
out what it is?
You
I
can
do a
do
medicine
checks.
check on it?
If
Yeah.
medicine check you want to do on it. Yep, you can do a medicine check on it. Are you doing anything else with the crate? Because just want to make sure everyone else.
Well,
You're all doing this at the same time. So,
I can't. As it gets deeper, I can't
Well,
physically
yeah.
reach.
Can I keep reaching?
so are you going to
Wait,
stop?
I'm going to stop looking there and start looking at
I was
it.
going to say,
Okay,
can I reach
cool.
in or shall I hold him by his ankles?
Between you, decide what would you
I'm
do.
going to stop and look at this.
Okay, so roll a medicine check for me.
No.
It's a vial. It's blue. It is unclear as to whether it would be good or bad for you if you took it.
Okay.
What's your character's name?
I've gone.
We like to drink with that rum, just from the door.
Right, cool. So that's taking some time. We're up to you, and you're opening a box and a crate. That's what you want to do. So, how are you doing that? You just crowbar in, or
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Your blunt crowbar.
We'll start with the.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to open this with disadvantage because we've already learned your crowbar blunt. So
I can even get more.
sorry, but it's
So
become
we're
clear
learning,
that
we're
your
learning a
crowbar's.
lot about the DM we've got here as well.
Well, like I say, that I'm trying to
No,
go
no,
through
it's-
the
it's
realism.
all-
to it,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
no,
whole
it's
point.
good.
12.
12. Okay, the first box opens up absolutely fine. Again, filled with straw. It's not clear what's in there unless you want to disturb the straw.
Yeah, have a quick
Around.
rifle through.
There is a goblet made of gold, or at least it looks like gold.
Yoink.
There's a bit more straw in there if you want to disturb it.
Yeah.
And a medallion. Seems overkill, that box.
Yeah.
But that's all.
Yeah.
That's
It's quite a lot in the box. Okay.
And the chest, are you doing anything with the chest?
Yeah, we try the chest as well. I need to.
And you just crowbar it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll again with disadvantage.
So 9.
There doesn't appear to be locked. The crowbar goes in reasonably nicely. Can you all roll initiative?
Damn.
And if you could just replace that chest for me.
Babe,
Wait a minute.
have a different set of dice.
Oh, why didn't we have the Christmas tree one?
Why?
I rolled. Oh no, I got +3 to initiative, haven't I? So I rolled a 12. No, 9, 11. One of them.
Wow.
11.
Smart.
Nothing wrong with my dice.
No, just when it's crucial, I'm rolling low, and when I don't need to, I'm rolling high.
It needs some finishing on the polishing because I don't understand one side's not coming out as black as the other.
Cool. Okay. So, how are we going to do this? The best way. So, did anyone roll over a 20?
I rolled a 21.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I need to honest that.
So we roll in initiative again.
No, usually done on just what your dexterity is.
Yeah. What's your dex?
+1.
What's your dex?
+2.
Right. So, Alex, your colour was orange. You're first. Siddle next. Anyone roll 15 to 20? No. Anyone roll 10 to 15?
Yes.
What'd you roll?
13.
13.
11.
Cool. Lucky for you guys. It's the mimic. Cool.
That's like Dobian.
It's a mimic. It's there. Sorry.
It's already licking your legs.
It's licking your legs.
So,
May not be like that chest from Discord instead.
first up, Wetico. Is it Wetico? Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah.
Can I, as a free action, just sort of rattle the door to see if it's locked or not?
What else do you want to do this turn?
Just stab the mimic.
So basically, you want to know if the door's locked.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you've tried that whilst everyone's trying to unlock the door. The door's locked.
All right, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't going to be something sneaking up on
Yeah,
us
yeah.
whilst we do this.
Yeah.
In which case, I will head over to
Wow. Super strength.
1, 2, 3, and go for a stab on the mimic.
Stab. Absolutely. Roll attack.
16.
So have you got into contact with it?
There's a box between you.
Yeah, I'm just. Yeah, it's within the 5 feet there, so that's not a problem. So what do you roll?
16.
16. That's a hit. Roll damage.
I don't appear to have my weapon on
Have you not? What's
Go.
the wheel?
14.
I should put it on
14.
wheel.
Damage. Wow.
here.
Max
good.
damage.
That's good at first level, that, isn't it?
What did you stab him with?
Wrong sword.
Jesus.
Okay. Next up is green, which is Sidon.
Well, yeah, bear with me just 2 seconds. Turns out I haven't added my weapons.
If you just go to your equipment. Oh, you haven't actually.
I haven't actually added them, so I thought I had.
It should
That's
do
why I
start and
ended up with
equipment,
those.
and it should prompt you to do them.
Jeez.
Yeah, it did.
Getting the rules
Which
again.
is why I had a.
Good, that's why we do this session, to make sure that we've got all our weapons. That's always useful.
It's usually spells for me. I just like, oh yeah. And I get in, I'm like, why is there no spell?
Well, that's why
I spent so long looking at them and saying then just before the session, like, oh,
Because I didn't know, I remember the first time, because I didn't know enough about D&D when I was doing my character, I made a warlock, but then hadn't activated any of the spells in D&D Beyond, so I'm playing this character. Why aren't you able to blast it? I'm like, I can't do that, that's why. Yes, you can. You're a warlock. Ah.
and the invocations make that really good then.
And yeah, they changed it all. I'm like, oh, this is very cool.
Yeah.
Which is why warlock has
There we
become
go.
my favourite.
I've got my club on now.
You're at your club, so you're gonna
So
you're
yeah,
currently looking out and you've heard
5,
this commotion
10,
going
on.
15.
because if I are these 5 of me, is it 5 meters?
Yeah, 5
Oh
feet.
right, I've got plenty of time.
Feet, but not meters.
And it's
D&D, not.
So I
bloody
will hit
Americans.
you with my club on his head.
okay, he's
That's
whacking
it.
it on the top. Roll attack.
Oh, that's just on the bit of it. 16.
16 is a hit.
Damage was 6.
6. Okay.
Am I too close for Eldritch Blast?
Currently, so you can Eldritch Blast, but when you're engaged, you get disadvantage on ranged attacks.
Next up, I forgot his name. You haven't got a name. No name.
I've got.
Yeah, well, you said it's not your name, so there's no point me loading that.
No, for there's my name. I've got.
Oh, I thought you said you were picking a new name.
No, new clan name.
Oh, sorry, I've been, I've been really mixed up with that. Sorry, now
I've
I'm
got
mixed
still
up.
the name.
Brass.
Cool, so that is the name you're sticking with, Adron, so
Adron,
I can learn that. Cool. Adron, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try and shoot a crossbow between them all and hit the middle.
Oh, there's a lot going on there.
There.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Right, so
At least I'm not going to have
For
right?
okay. So what I'm going to say is, no one's 5 foot wide, okay, and you're taking up a 5 foot square. In this instance, you've got a clear shot because 2 people within 10 feet shouldn't stop you hitting a chest, right? If you're hitting something smaller or something that's hidden and that's going on as well, you may get disadvantaged. But I'm going to go with a normal shot, so whatever, as long as within your distance, then you get a normal roll.
Yeah.
Unless you roll 1 and then it's going
Yeah, so
face.
I haven't needed to do this yet, but
Just get out of the way.
how I do it with ones in attacks, I've got some crit fail tables that I like to use because it's more fun that way, I think.
Yeah, good.
So, anyway,
Right, yeah.
roll to hit.
Okay.
7.
7.
7.
Okay, you just hit the wall behind the mimic.
Alright.
What was your actual roll?
And I turn and glare at you.
Yeah. You're like, that's a reasonably easy shot. 10 feet. How do you miss that? Cool. And you've got moving left if you want to move anymore.
No, I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okay. Next up is Castiel. Castiel. Starting adding accents on your names because there's no way I could pronounce them right. You know,
It's going to be writing the names all phonetically.
No, Castiel's fine. Don't say that.
So.
Castiel, he strikes me like Spanish.
It's just
No.
white.
It's just super.
Just white. He's not Spanish. He's
I
just
take it you've not seen Supernatural then.
I'm not honestly.
On my list.
We need to show you him so you can get sort of the idea of the character.
Yeah.
Is that the photo you've used?
Yeah.
Ah, I did think, why did you use a photo then?
It's me. No. So
What would you like
I'm
to do?
going
I
to.
painted my ready model.
You're going to hit him with my staff.
So I painted it to my fucking. That's a screenshot.
That was really annoying. I get a 13.
A 13 hits.
Oh, okay.
I've been quite nice here as well, as you probably all know, having maybe faced mimics before,
Yeah.
because I didn't give this surprise attack that he would have gotten you.
I don't think I've ever played a mimic against
Oh,
him.
really?
No, I had a pet mimic in one of my campaigns.
A pet
I
mimic.
tend to
How do you even know what it was?
really expect
Well,
chest
it
mimics.
just
I'm
popped
always
out and I
turning
just
them
did
into
an animal
things
test,
that
like
no
a
one
animal
don't
test on it,
expect,
and
like
9
campfires
damage.
and doorways and things like that.
I wonder, does it count as an animal?
Nice.
Just like
Right.
chat with it.
Oh, I feel like-
In fact, who's actually going to do it? The best one to do it, yeah, probably Agron. Can you roll a. As a monstrosity, how does that work? Can you roll an. Would it just be a straight history check? I'm thinking. No, just roll a history check. 10.
Yeah, my rolls are
That's
horrendous.
for the first flag.
You've probably heard of what a mimic is before, and this doesn't seem like a particularly nasty one. That's the information you've got. and I've given that to you partly because of your background and partly because you're the person stood away from all this, not in the thick of it, and can see what's going on. So the mimic's turn to attack. He's going to attack.
Can I ask a quick question? Does the mimic count as a creature?
It's a monstrosity.
Fudge. Okay.
Is a creature a monstrosity? A monstrosity is a creature, isn't it? Still a
No,
creature.
I
it's
think it's
creatures.
different.
Is that
It's actually a
Classification.
class creature.
All right, there you go.
Because it's ones where it's whether you can. Like,
So
certain
I thought
classes
it's whether
can
you're
be
yeah,
friendly
but
and
undead and dead are still creatures.
Are they?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay then.
It's still a creature, I believe. I'll double check it. I'll tell you that's the best way, especially if it's a spell or an action you're going to use regularly. You should know that. So I'll just double check. Someone's probably answering it on the stream right now.
I'm fairly certain
Lazy
it is.
naming
If
their
it's,
cities,
A creature, it's just basically, yeah.
yeah, something that
I'm just
is-
double checking because I don't want to.
Lazy naming Smiler. Kitty said you're lazy naming for your character.
You don't know. You should wait till you meet if you die.
Yeah, it's just a category for
Sam
creatures that are
to go.
considered monsters. So yeah, it's still a creature.
I have Dean as a Warforged Barbarian and Sam as a. Where's Sam? Sam is a Warforged again, but as a cleric.
So what did you need to know for his creature for?
I'm going to cast Control Creature at some point.
Okay,
So-
so you've missed that obviously.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Next time round,
Cool.
I'm just checking for. Well, there we go. I'm just trying to learn how to use the app again.
So obviously the mimic has popped out as you've tried to open it, so it's going to go for
Indeed.
Castiel, and he's going to go out with his pseudopod. So let's roll that. Does a 14 hit?
That is a good question. I'm on the wrong screen. 1 second. No.
No, it misses, and cool. It doesn't get to attack, so it is back round to Wetico.
Give it another whack with the longsword.
Okay.
Does a mimic understand one language?
I don't think it understands any languages. Does a 15 hit?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
12 points damage.
Understands speech.
12. That is enough to kill it.
Cool.
I say it's not particularly big, strong mimic. This one's down. And what I'm trying to show by that is, you may have come into contact with creatures before. I try not to keep creatures as standard creatures. They'll have different ACs, and not necessarily different ACs, but mainly things like different hit points and other things, because no two mimics will be the same in real life.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for them all to be exactly the same stats, which annoys me when I play a game and they are.
So
So
you're just supposed to keep sort of secret as to what they are, and then you fight 15 goblins in a row, and you're like, I reckon I'm going to hurt him.
yeah.
Takes the fun out of it.
Exactly. So mimic's dead. As I say, it seems a small mimic with normal. That's enough. It's in bits, ichor everywhere. You've all got black goo on you. Nothing else seems to be moving in the room.
Just as a precaution, I'd like to take a couple of steps towards the. Has anyone checked the other chest out?
Not yet, no.
And just throw an axe at the other chest for good measure.
Okay.
I was always gonna tell
From where you're stood.
I was going to take a couple of
Okay,
steps.
just pop yourself where you're throwing from.
About 10 feet away or something.
Okay. And if you can roll, this is just a thrown weapon, isn't it? So roll to hit.
Yeah. 21.
21. That's a hit. And roll damage.
8.
8. The lid of the chest splits in two, almost falls away. Again, it wasn't locked, and there is straw, and you've hit something metal inside.
I'll garble up then. As long as it's not going to try and take a chunk out of me.
Sweet, get over there and it bites really ready.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh, just turn that page over. I'm an idiot. Mm,
Chest isn't moving.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
yes,
size
size
it
it
is.
is.
And it's somehow stronger than the one
It's
before.
the straw.
sorry, I just had a table I was using, but I want to make sure it's the same. There we go. Da, da, da. It is a forked rod.
A forked rod.
Yep. There might be more stuff in there, so you just hit it, and that's what it's come into contact with and broken the swing of the axe. And that's partly because it was actually on an angle in the wood, and it's just stopped the swing of the axe.
I'll retrieve my axe and sort of. Probably you. You want to have a look at this? This seems
Are you asking him to look at your rod?
my forked rod.
Your forked rod?
Yeah.
Slightly
Some-
more worrying.
Something won't happen there.
Yep, you have a look.
Can I just go and check out the gunk of the mimic first?
Yep,
Let's
what are
see
you
if-
looking for?
I want to see if there's any way I could use it as an ally. Like if I'd be able to know.
You can take a sample of it if you've got something to put it in.
I can find
Yeah, I want to empty that blue vial and
You
Put
want
it
to
in
empty
there.
it.
yeah,
You don't want to use it.
No.
Okay,
or on the floor.
okay.
Take the gunk of the mimic, pop it in, and then I'll go look at his rod.
Where are you pouring the blue goo?
I'm just gonna pour it next to me. Then.
It melts through the stone.
Cool. Good job to drink that.
You just wasted some assets.
Oh, well.
Um,
I'll come have a look after going to collect this.
okay, so you're going to investigate. So roll investigation. So it's still a load of straw in there. You just didn't pull the straw out. You can do
I'm
it.
looking at the rod.
Oh, you're looking at the rod. Sorry,
While he does that, can I look to open that box for you?
you can indeed. If you want to roll a strength again on your crowbar. Are you using someone else's crowbar?
Can I use your crowbar instead of my crowbar?
Sure.
Yeah, you can get it without
There you
disadvantage.
I didn't give it
You seem to have forgotten how to use crowbars.
Two hands.
This time you managed to get the crowbar in, you just don't seem to be getting any leverage on. It's not moving or breaking anything.
Siddle, come jump on this crowbar.
I'm just,
Do you
I'm
want to
gonna-
roll investigation? And this is on the
So
forked
good.
rod. Yeah.
Okay, my investigation is 20 today.
It appears to be a forked rod. There's no special property of
Is
it.
there like
nothing
a,
special
is
about
there
a
like
forked
a
rod.
nick in it now as well due to the...
Yeah, there is a dint in it, but it's quite a hard rod. It's not broken it. It's just like where the sheen on the metal is. It's
Can I just cast
broken.
Mending?
You can cast mending. Yeah, mending. Yeah. There's now no chink
Yep.
in the rod.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, I'll take that.
Was that used up for spells?
No, it's
No,
not.
it's a cantrip.
Oh, okay, cool.
How long does it take mending?
Can you mend my crowbar?
Actually, yeah.
It seems not to work. So it is.
when
Maybe
they've
it
done
takes-
that, I'll
takes a
go
minute.
over and I'm going to try and smash the crate with my fists.
With
With my
your
club
fists.
instead.
Your club
Is it
roll
crow-
to hit.
oh,
Oh, yeah, I didn't think
Yeah.
so.
I'll
And then,
I'll
am
s-
I
I'm
doing
going
that
to
now?
start trying to get through this locked door.
Okay, so you're gonna try and unlock it, or
No, because I'm terrible at that. I'm
Okay.
going to use force.
Okay.
I'll probably retrieve my crowbar.
okay, and you're just trying to prise the
Broke.
lock or the
See,
hinges
still
again,
broke.
or
If I put my ear to it, apart from fire, vague sounds of fire, can I hear anything else from the other side of the door?
roll perception. You've already rolled perception there, so
Oh, I didn't actually get round to it because we ended up in combat before I did that.
no, you did because that's how you heard fire near there.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Let's just do what Sid's doing because he would be doing that whilst this is happening. Roll to hit.
Thanks, Julia.
So this is with your club.
Yes, so am I just doing like a normal, as if I was attacking?
Yep.
No, not the not the bludgeoning one, yeah. that one. 15.
hit. Damage.
5 it was.
5. Yeah, that's enough to break through a crate. It's just some wood and
I was going to say, I
Right,
can't imagine it as a large armor class.
No.
So I'm guessing it's now scattered all over.
the lid's broken. You've basically broken a
I've
big
just
hole in
broken
the
the
lid.
lid. Oh, right, okay, cool. Well, I'll stick my hand in then and see what's in there.
Just stick your hand straight
Yeah,
in.
why not?
Uh,
It always goes well for me.
initially, you've got
RPGs do
straw, and then you feel something harder, and
It's a dick
it's
in a box.
it's something metal and round but spiky on the edges. So,
Is it a mace? I want to
are
pull it
you
out.
pulling it
It's a
out? Are you
mace.
pulling it out? or
Yeah,
are you-
I'm pulling it out.
Okay, it's a tiara.
It's a tiara!
I put the tiara on.
Okay.
Do the whole speech. Oh, you look beautiful.
Anybody else want to
Of course I do. It's a tiara and I'm a prince.
Obviously, you've just put your hand in. That was at the top. There might be more stuff in
Oh,
there.
I'll keep
It's
digging,
straw.
man. I'll keep
Yeah.
digging.
Yep. You come across some earrings.
Okay, so it was a jewellery box.
Yep.
Just a big jewellery box.
You're not pulling the straw out. You can roll investigation again to see if there's anything else there.
Cool. Try to find investigation. That'll be skills.
I don't want that.
Thank you.
We never answered, so you didn't get one.
I'm fine.
11.
11. There is nothing you can see other than straw in there.
Cool.
Okay.
So I have a tiara and earrings. Are they diamonds? Are they?
They
Coloured
look
metal.
sparkly. You can. Are you just basically looking to see if you think they look valuable?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Roll investigation again.
4.
They look shiny. Cool. Right. So Alex has listened to the door. You've not heard anything other than firing there,
All right. Then
and you've already rolled well on perception, so
yeah.
there's
so
no
I'll
reason to
just
roll it again.
I'm not going to be able to like open the lock through dexterous means, so
Okay.
I am just going to attempt to prise the door.
So what are you doing? Just the crowbar on the lock? Because we were talking about before. You're on the lock, on the hinge. How are you doing?
Yeah. So looking at the door, the hinges don't appear to be on this side, so I am just going to go for the lock itself and see if I can just either break the mechanism or prise it out of the stonework or something like that.
Are you doing this on your own whilst everyone else is doing what they're doing? Yep.
Anybody else
Roll.
want
It's going to be another strength, isn't it? It's going to be another strength
Still a
athletics check.
It's a smaller problem.
Can you get me the jewellery
It's pretty obvious how the crowbar works. It's not really
box? Would you be able to get
Well,
me the jewellery dice?
there is some movement, but you would say that's more because it's an old lock. It still seems to be well made. There's just movement from years of use.
Well, put it to the room then.
Those dice are too big for this dice.
Do you have any of that acid left, or did you empty all of it?
All of it because he put the blood in instead.
I have
Do you want some mimic blood?
There's a mimic blood.
Go on, stick your hand in the mimic blood.
No, he's got a vial of mimic
No,
blood.
a vial of mimic blood.
Is that going to melt this lock? Because the acid would have been useful.
Yes,
It would have been quite useful.
Would have been. Didn't know it was acid. Is
I
there
didn't want to try testing it or anything. Just pour
Don't
it
try
straight
your
on.
crowbar on it.
No. I'm going to. No, it's getting your attention.
Sorry.
Wait.
I was like, hello.
I'm going to Eldritch Blast the door from where I stood.
Oh, okay. Can you firstly roll to hit and don't roll low because Alex has his ear against that door.
I'm still right next to it.
Oh dear.
Alex
You've been
is there.
rolling really well
I'm
so
stood next to
far.
him as well.
What have you rolled? Please tell me it's a nut one.
Oh, hang on, I need to check what it actually.
If it's a nut one, it doesn't matter what your
It's
modifiers
not-
are, by the way.
It's not a nat 1.
Does it
It's
become a
not
one?
a 19. Plus 7. So it's a 16.
16. You hit the door. Can you roll a dexterity check, please?
Sorry, Alex.
Didn't do that through.
5.
Roll damage.
Uh,
You're going to take half this damage.
D10.
Actually. Oh, wait, no, never mind.
Have I missed something?
I have something, but technically I need to use it before any, like...
Oh, right. So you've rolled damage, right?
3 plus. Sorry, I did the wrong thing.
So is it D10 plus what?
Oh no, it's just a D10. So it was 3.
3. So you just take 1 damage.
I'm very confused.
He singed
Rolled
your
up
hair.
there again just to see if it was it
Not my
was. I
hair.
rolled the 3 as well.
So
Cool.
just to check with this
Um,
one, we should put the dice down.
And the door isn't broken, but the lock is broken.
God damn it!
It's not enough damage to break the door.
Freaking 19.
Broken to the point
You
where...
could open it.
Oh, wonderful.
It
I'll
doesn't
just-
swing open though, because it's just enough force to break the lock.
Yeah. Well, I'll put my hand on it and apply enough force to swing the door open whilst making very irritated eye contact.
Okay. Ooh. Right, this time what I'm going to draw is what you can actually see from where you are, because you obviously can't see the entire room from where you are. So, there's a wall here that you can probably see at that point. Right, you probably can't see any more from that point there, that point there. Right, so fire, obviously, with a roasting spit above it. And something on it, cooking.
Hey, free food.
Fair, she shot an arrow past my face. It's one of those games.
And there are basically what looks like bed rolls and things like that there. And that is a hard rock wall, no doors in the space you can see. I'll stay up here because if you walk in, I'm saying it's wrong. What do you want to do? You can all see that through the door, that's how I've drawn it.
Yeah.
So you can basically see in that arc there. Cool.
So from my position at the door, I'll put my fingers up to my lips and just sort of whistle to get everyone's attention before gesturing in the way of the fire in the other room. So,
It's quite loud echoes around this room.
I'd say an argument with it, but I follow orders without thinking. It's one of my flaws.
Sorry, so what are you going to do?
I'm just getting everyone's attention.
Okay.
Just whistling and just telling us.
So everyone's looked, I'll then sort of step into the room and have
I mean, everyone's looking, someone just Eldritch Blast the door.
Sure.
Everyone's already looking in that direction. Probably looking at you for your reaction because he's just burned your hair.
I'm just sitting there like a bit stupid, like, sorry.
And I just look up
So-
and just see your arm above me. Like,
Do you have a way that you use Eldritch Blast? Like, because at the end of the day, I know we say I used Eldritch Blast, but how are you using Eldritch Blast? What do you do? Is it,
I
you're
envision
not
it
saying
more of a
anything. Is it
command
vocal
man,
as well?
yeah.
Does it need to be?
Uh,
So it'll say what it
it's
is.
at will.
At will, but it should say how you cast it. So whether it's vocal, whether you do an action, whether you do both, it should say both. Or
vocal and somatic.
there you go.
components.
So you've got to do a movement and make a sound of some kind with your mouth. So how are you doing it?
car, me. You won't get that one, will you?
No.
No.
What's it from?
Dragon Ball Z.
Why do you keep kicking me in the dick? That's the only
Some
Dragon Ball Z
bugs.
on it.
So how are you doing it? I love that. I knew you were going to do it, and I was like, don't suggest it, see if it happens. So it's Hadouken to the door. I love it. So that is now your Eldritch Blast is Hadouken. Awesome. Cool. So he's Hadouken it, and then looks sheepish like,
Sorry.
it's more of
Cool.
a Ken Hadouken.
It's open.
Cool, right, so Hadouken, everyone's looking at you anyway. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm going to head into the room, see if I can get a full visual of the space. I want to
Put
check.
yourself 5 feet in, and I'll draw the rest so that you can see what you're looking at. Cool.
How does it look?
Like a room. There doesn't appear to be much there yet.
Is that food I smell?
A room, some chairs.
Well.
Is the occupied chair occupied?
The occupied chair has a haggard old woman on it,
I see.
who hasn't even looked at you. She's not even responded to you walking into the room. She's holding either a bowl or a drinking vessel that's somewhere between a bowl and a cups, and looking at it.
I'll just yell, now interesting back, and wander over in the direction of the haggard old woman.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm
Follow
gonna,
in?
yeah, I'm going to follow in, but I'm still going to hold that whatever.
So just pop.
Pot.
So you're just going to walk towards her
Well, I'm
and
just
stand
gonna-
what a reasonable distance away to talk to someone.
I'm going round the fire so I can
Okay.
get a good look at her face before I approach her.
Can you roll a perception check for me whilst you do that?
I'm going to try and reach for some of the food.
Yeah, I want to go over here. Look at this.
19.
Okay, as you pass the beds area, a foul stench hits your nose, which you didn't notice because of the meat you could initially smell.
Yeah.
Which you would suggest is probably burning by this point. But you don't know whether it's a toilet you can smell or rotten flesh. It's kind of just a horrible, hits you like a whack in the face
From the bedroll.
from specifically that direction. Yeah.
Who is next?
I mean,
Sorry, so
Next
you've all
into
come
the
in, so
room.
you've walked around, that smell's hit you, you're
Right,
going to
okay.
reach for some meat, but you're not quite there.
So
yet.
as I'm approaching round the fire to look at the haggard old woman, I'm sort of just at the bedrolls, bring that to your attention.
Yeah, no, head over to it as well. I'll sniff around.
You basically too many. Is that you?
You know, like,
Cool.
that's this mimic.
Can you roll a... It's not... What, you're trying to
Well,
just
first I want to see whether it's burnt, whether it's edible.
Okay. Roll investigation.
Got my 20 up here. 8.
I mean, if my dad was in charge of the barbecue, he'd serve it. I probably wouldn't.
I'll eat it then. Well,
Yeah.
grab a bit and eat it.
Okay. You can
I'll grab a bit and snip it.
roll a dexterity check to see if you burn yourself.
Can I perceive if I recognise what kind of meat it is?
You can roll a perception check. Yeah. 8. In fact, it's not going to be a perception check. It's going to be an animal handling check. That's what it's going to be. In fact, a survival's probably better for that, I think. In fact, you can use either of those two, which you prefer. Sorry, what was your roll on dexterity? 8. It's
Yeah, I
hot.
suppose.
You don't burn yourself, but it's hot. So you've pulled probably a piece about the size of my fist. You managed to rip off from the bed.
Cool.
18.
18. It's probably dog-sized, the whole animal, and this is basically a leg.
There's definitely that.
But it's definitely an animal, dog-sized. It's very difficult to tell what animal it'd be from just a bit of bone and the meat. But yeah, could be a dog, could be something different but similar size.
Does the meat look edible?
There's some crunchy bits, but you could definitely eat it.
Oh, I'll eat it then.
Yeah, it's hot again.
I'll blow
Roll,
on it first.
you blown on
Are
it.
you hungry?
Apparently so.
Roll a d4 and -1 from it, and that's how much damage you take. It was roasted hot just to come off the spit.
-1.
Yeah, because you've blown it.
Let's do it.
Because there's a lot blowing on it.
2.
2, so you're going to take 2 damage for that. It's burning hot meat, you just shove straight in your gob.
Everybody's like,
You go, yeah. Okay, and that's, actually, as you do that, you hear the old lady kind of laugh a little bit.
Cool. Well, in that case, what I'm then going to do is just like cast healing words on myself. Oh, don't have that. Cure wounds even.
Cure wounds.
Yeah,
Is that where you just give you from the healing pool as many as you want?
I think so. 1d8 plus my spellcasting modifier.
Is that in one go that you get to do that? As in, you just get to roll a d8 and you get that much back? Or is that how many the pool is?
Yeah, it
So
doesn't
which one?
mention any pool.
Oh, right, okay, sorry, I've mixed that with another spell.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can do that if you want. I mean, a d8 to get back to...
Yeah, I'll probably wait for a while, to be fair, because it's a
Probably.
spell.
You don't have to, but I would
That I can't
suggest
use
that might be a
again.
good
Oh, no, So,
If you
How
wanna
big
do
is
it, you
this?
do it.
Cure wounds is the first one spell.
yeah, sorry, yeah.
How big is that rod there? Mended.
How big is the rod?
That mended the fox.
5 foot.
Big chest.
You're sorry?
That's one big chest.
I mean, it takes up a 5 foot, and it was at an angle to get in.
No, true, yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to stick to realism here.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Can I use that to poke around the bed?
Oh, you can indeed, yeah. Okay, you see the. If I've put them in like an L shape, the
Yeah.
corner of that L shape, when you poke that, you feel there's something in the roll. Not. There's more weight than that you'd expect there to be, and actually there's more resistance. It's not just fabric. There's something in
Like there's something inside here.
Yeah.
Can I like pull it back with the using the
Roll a dexterity check.
Nope.
Some bad rolling tonight, guys.
Isn't it?
4.
Yeah.
You faff around with it, and you actually can quite easily pierce the fabric. And as you do so, the smell gets stronger.
Okay.
But you can't see inside it. You just roll it around it and made a hole in it.
And this is like a rotten flesh.
It's unclear whether it could be excrement, it could be rotten flesh. It's almost burning your nostrils, and because you've got that smell of burnt animal as well, it's quite hard to tell what that smells. It's just horrible. It's almost eye-wateringly bad.
So can we just like throw it next to myself?
You're sorry?
Can I just throw it next to myself?
You can roll a Constitution check if you think that's something that you might do.
That's quite
Yeah.
useful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can.
Right. Anyone want to do anything else?
Right.
You were working your way towards it.
Yeah.
Everyone's done their stuff. Flashing. Does anyone do anything else in the way of
Should
that?
check the door.
The door. It's. Are you just trying to handle the door?
Yeah. Just,
It gives resistance. And clicks when you pull it down, but doesn't open. So you don't think it's locked,
there might be something.
but something's stopping it
So yeah, I'm approaching around the side of the campfire. I'm sort of looking down. I want a good look at her before I get close to her.
Okay.
Maybe.
Roll. In fact, this isn't even perception. If you had to, she doesn't look a normal colour.
No.
She looks very pale.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even slightly green, but it's hard to tell with the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And again, she's giggled to herself, but she hasn't moved. She's just sat, kind of looking over this small bowl cup thing that she's looking at.
I'll take one step forward, not anywhere near sort of a grasping reach, but just call to her. Hey,
Just hey.
literally just hey.
Okay.
Try and get
She's
her
not going to
attention.
respond to hey.
No, it's straw.
Old woman.
She kind of raises an eyebrow
Dude, be polite.
and actually you notice that in doing so she's moved slightly, and whatever's in that bowl is starting to trickle down. So it's in front of her. It's not landing on it. It's like going onto the floor, whatever that liquid is. It's dark in colour.
Can I grab the lip and just sort of tilt it back to rightness, coming a bit closer?
Yes, you can. Roll initiative, everybody.
Ooh, which is 20 days.
Okay, right. I'll do it because there's only 4 of it. It's actually easy to do it this way. What do you roll?
10.
What do you roll?
Day 20.
Dirty 20.
Back.
What do you roll?
Stop using
A
the
10.
rest.
We both rolled the same on initiative
But
twice.
you got 2 on dex. What did you roll?
15.
15. Perfect. And let's roll this one. Cool. Now, You didn't seem to be aware that she may attack. You seem to be just reaching for her on a ball. This is going to be a surprise attack this time because she's been still and completely taken by surprise. Unless there's anything you've got that stops that happening, which I know some characters do have. So, no. Okay. And the hag uses her claws to grab onto your hand straight away, the one that you've placed on the ball. That's at least what she tries to do. So she gets. Ooh, that's going to be a hit. 24. Shit, I didn't realise how much damage hags actually do. That's 13 damage. Shit.
I'm unconscious.
That's just
I
a
was just
claw.
saying, I was like,
All she's done is claw his hand. That's
hey.
what it does. Jesus. Okay. One attack.
No question. I was fucking blessed.
I'm standing back. I don't have any long range, I don't think.
Is it my go?
Now it is first turn, yeah.
Eldritch Blast.
What did you roll?
Oh.
You just see Wetico fall unconscious from a basically claw in his hand. Like, instantly,
just nope. Not getting involved.
That is way more damage than I expected that to be, by the way.
So that is 19.
That's a hit.
Oh,
wow. I didn't know something else, but I'm learning about hags. I know there's a few different types, and I've not come across this one before. So
And
I've got to do that.
5 damage. I feel like there should be something added to my damage. But,
Level 1, that I think it's because it's a level 1 and
Yeah.
it's just building that
but
up.
I think it's just the last.
Have you got any of the bonuses? Do you choose those yet? Is it level 3 we get to do that?
It's
Okay.
level 2 and 3.
Because one of the things, if you
So I
use
wrote up
D&D
level
Beyond,
3
is it D&D
and I
Beyond you
picked
use?
loads of cool Eldritch Blast stuff.
Is it D&D Beyond you use?
Yeah.
It's really rubbish with some of the invocations, like the one where you get extra damage. It doesn't do it on there when you roll it. Or I didn't tell you, you have to remember that you've chosen that feature. It's one of the things I've not ironed out yet, because I know from doing it myself. So if you've when you choose those invocations, just remember it, because you lose 2 of your damage every time if you don't remember. Cool. So you've done 5 damage. Where's mine? I mean, it's done 5 damage. She's not really flinched. Again, so far the only movement you've seen her make is the claw to attack Wetico and the raised eyebrow. Next up is Siddle. No, it's not.
Agdar.
Sorry, Agdar, isn't it?
Yeah. I was about to see Wetico just pass out onto the floor. Definitely not going to get any closer, so just shoot with a crossbow.
How do
Crossbow.
you pure wounds
Roll to hit.
touch?
Yeah, you're always
Yeah.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Feature-
Here we
feature
go. You
touch
got
will
your
be
bonuses on
used
here.
by
So
2d8.
roll damage.
You're
Roll
very much stronger
the
than me.
dice twice. 2 of them.
And one of the D8.
What are you, a cleric? Or
Yeah, you just roll it twice if you want them to go.
for melee attacks?
Yeah.
Or you're dueling with the. Ooh. Hey, to go back?
Any addition?
No.
Just a D8 straight
Oh,
down.
no,
Yeah.
Cool. So you've
You
done
don't
8
have
damage.
dexterity.
9 damage, 3.
I'll
Damn
head over-
it.
I'll head round to cure you.
Cool.
Well, that probably makes me.
You do anything else? Any movement? Any...
Now I'm going to keep myself at the opposite side of the fire from her.
Also, I'm going to suggest, just so everyone's aware of this, because I do think this ruins the game a bit if you don't do it this way. When you're using crossbows, arrows, things like that, unless you're rolling nat ones and something happens to that arrow and it breaks, or the bolt and it breaks, I'm assuming because you're usually proficient in those when you get them, especially from the start, you would collect them if you go up to that creature. If you don't go near that creature, you don't get that back. So I expect you to keep a record of how many you use.
I'm confused, yeah.
But like I say, I'm quite happy for you to put it back on if you've gone near it. You would just pick it up naturally to reuse it. Most people would, I would
Yeah.
assume, if you're using an arrow. So
I mean, I do it.
just, I'm expecting you guys to keep track of that. I would
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
track of that. If you miss, I'll know where it's missed because I'll tell you where it's missed. All right? Cool. So are you moving anywhere? Sorry.
No, I'm going to keep myself at the opposite side of the fire towards them.
Okay.
If she comes towards me, it's firing away.
And you're still looking that way. Just turn around just so we can.
Looking that way now, yeah.
Well, we've got the minis, we might as well use them. Next up is the hag. So the hag.
I'm going to quickly turn around and cover my eyes. It's a job that you specifically asked about where you're looking.
The hag is actually Medusa.
And she's going to cast vicious mockery on you because you look terrified, and all you hear is just loud laughing in your face, but like cackling. It's like, and it's kind of a bit scary. So yeah.
Nice out the dragon.
And she is at level. How does that work then? If she's, does it say spellcaster?
Over their magic, it'll say what level spellcaster they are.
I haven't actually played a hand before. Over where, sorry?
So where it says their magical stuff, right at the top of that section, it'll say what level spellcaster they are.
It says what spell save I've got there, but I haven't got. Am I missing something on here?
Do they have a section that tells you like what spells?
It just says at will, and then it's got a list of them. It doesn't give you any more information than the spell save DC.
In which case it's just
Oh, it's
cast as,
charisma. No, no.
in which case it's just cast as if it were first level.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's on D4.
It
First
is,
level
yeah.
vicious mockery. So take 1 damage. She's now sat cackling in her chair, almost rocking. Not phased by the fact that Wetiko is unconscious in front of her. She's not moving. Next up,
She's still sat down.
is Wetiko. Can you make a saving throw, please? Yes. Cool. Yeah, she's still sitting down, rocking. It's a rocking chair. I know that one isn't, but it's a rocking chair. She's rocking, cackling away. Cool. Next up is Sigil.
Next
Cool.
time
I'm
I
going to
fight,
go
yeah.
round this way. 10, 15, 20.
You want to make her more angry.
30.
That's definitely the way.
I've got to round the back so I can't see. And then I'm going to cure wounds.
1 second. Could you just knock Wetiko over for us, just so we know he's unconscious? Cool.
I'm going to cure wounds on him.
Okay. That's 1d8.
+1 is 3. Could have been a lot
He's
better.
conscious. That's the main thing.
So is he back up?
Back up with 3 hit points. No, sorry, not. He's still prone.
Still prone, but with
Yeah,
3.
but he's conscious. And is that a full action or a bonus action? Sorry, cure wounds. They'll say
It
PA.
is.
It's a full action, yeah.
Yeah, so if you've got any bonus actions you want to use, you can use those.
I don't think they're doing this one because I don't think Magic Stone is a bonus on this one.
No, it's
Casting time 1 bonus action. It is.
Okay, so you can use
So I don't have any yet. So are there any stones around I can pick up?
that.
They can be gravel. they can
Roll
be-
investigation, and if you roll higher than a 12,
10.
not that you can see.
Cool, that's fine. I don't have any magic stones. They're my best weapon.
Nope.
You're up.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
You've been
So,
quiet on mine. It's been quiet. It's
do I do my bonus action before my attack?
you can do it
You
whenever.
can do it either before or after.
Okay, so I cast Magic Stone on my bag of ball bearings.
The only thing you need to do is you can't cast 2 spells. It has to be a spell and a cantrip, or because they do vary. Some of them have bonus actions and both, but that's fine.
Yeah, magic stone is just a. It's a cantrip.
So you can cast a spell and a cantrip as long as one of them is a bonus action. You can do them both at the same time.
It's 3 ball bearings you'll get. Magic stone gives you 3 magic stones.
Okay, in that case, I will cast.
In a campaign I played with Smiler, I was a warlock with magic stone. My Eldritch Blast constantly missed, but my magic stones killed things. That's the bonus action. It was
It's like every Eldritch Blast wouldn't even hit the person, and then
I'd throw a rock at his head and he'd die. With a D6.
So I'm gonna use my Eldritch Blast Ooh, that's 50.
That's a miss. Hags, I'll tell you now you've missed on a 15. It's a 17 to hit a hag.
Oh, Jesus.
It says natural armour, but I'm sure there's something magical involved in that. Because they're just wearing like a knight. So.
Old ladies,
Yeah.
natural armour because they're known for being pretty sturdy, or old ladies.
They're brittle skin.
Ludo. What?
Is Sid Ludo.
No idea what she's on
I
about.
think, is that Labyrinth?
Yeah,
Labyrinth, yeah, the big orange dude. Because of the magic stones.
I say it's blue.
Stones, friend.
Cool.
That makes sense.
So I'm afraid they miss.
Balls.
Is that everything?
Good try the
You
dog.
got anything else?
I want to get out! I want to get out! I want to get out!
You got anything else?
Don't think I have. Let me just double check. No. Two weapon fighting, that would be if I had like.
Basically, if you do one attack, you can offhand with the other one, which means you don't get your modifier when you do the damage.
I'm good. My other action in combat is I can interact with an object, so I go fucking door.
Cool. Blues.
Can I find the Cooper? Oh, touch it.
Agron. Agron's up.
You don't
So
know what I've been
she's-
through.
Still sat in her chair.
She's still sat in her chair, rocking, cackling away.
How close is she to the fire?
5 feet.
And each big one's 5 feet, you say?
Yeah.
So, can I
Yeah,
go,
also-
can I go diagonally?
Yep.
Yeah. So I go, damn it. I go behind her.
Yep.
And then try and push her into the fire.
You can try to, yeah,
Topple
absolutely.
the rocking chair into the fire.
So you're rocking the chair forwards towards
Yeah.
the fire.
As she rocks forwards, I want to just give her that extra momentum to
Yeah,
Surely it's
push
advantage,
it.
isn't it, if it's on rocking chairs?
She's already rocking forwards and then start to push.
Yeah, I'm quite happy for you to try that. Roll a.
I don't
I'm just
like
trying to
the way
also
it says
think.
try.
So she's on a rocking chair. How tall are you?
Oh yeah, good
Small.
point. Well, not big.
Yeah, how tall are you then? You're a dwarf, aren't you?
I'm talking
So you're about 3 foot
So
tall,
you
aren't
just
you?
push up to
Dwarves
see
are
more
usually
than
four
that.
foot
4 and 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
4'3".
Okay.
So
Roll
more
a
than
strength
that.
check. If you were under 4, I would have given you disadvantage. That's why I was asking that question.
19,
20.
20.
You're pushing her into the fire if she doesn't stop you.
Yeah.
It's just rolled as a moved it. There's a nat 20. She's rolled as a strength against, pushing against. However,
Did see
she's
that.
on a rocking chair, so she's going to move forwards, but she's going to leap out of the chair as she does that. Rather than before you finish pushing it, she's leaping away from the fire. She's trying to evade it.
Where is she leaping to then?
To the left, the way you're looking at it,
So
slightly
there.
far. Yeah, so I was going to ignore that there's a chair there now.
Yeah,
You've got the chair in your hands. She's stood there next to the fire.
So,
She's seen you come up and run.
Stop over here.
She's watched
so
you
you've-
push it.
you've
She
tried
knows
to-
what you're doing. She's not just going to fall in the fire and die. She would have if she rolled badly, but she didn't. So.
the bonus action for slide the chair in front.
You
Set-
pushed it.
Set the
I'm-
chair and then
it's-
as she leans out, just sort
Hit her
of
with it.
So what are you doing? You hold the chair as a defence towards
Yeah.
it, or are you going to try and hit it with it?
No, I'm just going to put it in front of me because she's too far from it. So I'll use my action to push her. So I'm just going to see her leap out and then I'm just going to turn it so it's in between me and her.
Okay.
As a shield.
Yeah.
Kind of like a shield.
Okay. With that, she's up. What's she going to do this time? She is going to cast a spell, which makes her turn completely invisible. So you can't see where you can't see it. Can who's the best person to roll? Castiel, can you roll a perception check?
No. Yes. Perception. It's at least a 19.
Okay. You see reasonably easily the door you have just
22.
come through,
Yes.
the one that have all just come through, moves quite soon after she goes invisible, enough to let something through.
Cool, cool.
No, the other one.
No, no.
So do we see anything?
Only Castiel,
see
looking at where you all are and what you're all doing, you've got a chair, you're holding up, one's firing away, and you're bringing it back to life because it's all happening at the same time. Castiel has noticed that the door moved. You haven't seen her because she's completely invisible. The door moved, that's all you know. It would have allowed someone to go through if they wanted to, but obviously there's no way to know whether that's what's happened or not. And you are out of combat,
Well, so she left then.
apparently. There's no combat happening right now, so what do you want to do?
I would like to take my second wind, please.
Yeah, feel free.
You're alive.
Hey!
You're alive, are you?
Yeah, so second wind.
Oh, is it a thing? Oh, right.
I gave D10 plus 1 hit points back and
Oh,
rolled 10, so that's nice.
You already had 3. You're more than you started now.
Yeah, I'm back up to 4.
Nice.
Cool.
Can
Apparently
I,
the scratch wasn't quite as severe as I had made it out to be.
I'm tired!
the well.
Oh, I'm okay.
It was mainly just the clothes.
Yeah.
Just don't want to
Whilst I
look
can't
at it
see
much
it,
longer.
is there any space like behind here, or is that like right next to it?
You could probably squeeze between it, but you wouldn't be able to do a lot there.
Well, can I just get as close to the edge here and
Yeah.
investigate that whilst?
Oh yeah, you can look into it. It looks like a well.
Can
There
I
is a
see-
rope over the edge. You would guess there's a bucket at the other end of it. The rope's just dangling over the edge.
This was.
Can I pull the bucket up? See if
You
there's
can
any
just
water
pull
in
it up. It's quite long. You pull up a bucket of water.
The bucket of water in there.
There is water in the bucket. Oh, there's a clear liquid in the bucket.
That's left.
The bowl that the hag was peering into, is that on the floor somewhere?
I'm going to roll for this because obviously with what just happened, it may have gone on the floor, it may have gone into the fire. Let's roll for that.
I didn't know I could do that. Apparently, as a bonus action, I can turn invisible
gone in
until
the
the start of my next turn.
Is it burnt to a crisp or can I fish it out?
It fizzled when it landed.
It's
Um,
furball magic.
I'm going for size right here, maybe like half a coconut size bowl. You can see it in the flames, but it's on fire.
Right.
You'd guess wooden, not clay, not well, you touched it, so you probably guess wooden, not something
I
similar.
can communicate with
If it's
beasts.
in the fire, I'll leave it
I
on.
can communicate with beasts and plants.
Okay,
Whatever it was in it sizzled and was clearly flammable, but it's not clear what it is. The smell wouldn't be clear with everything else that's smelly in the room either. There's no.
Eldritch Blast this door.
Straight in with the Eldritch Blast.
Nat 20.
Nat 20, roll damage.
What is. I should learn this.
It's a D10.
So D10?
Yeah, D10 plus 1 to begin with, I think. I need to take a break soon.
Well, we'll do this bit and then we'll take a break. Then.
6.
6 in total. Could you just open the door? The door will open.
That's it.
It'll only go one way, so it doesn't go across the way. It'll just click and then open.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's shut again, though, isn't it?
Okay. So yeah, you've taken the door off its hinges and it's just fallen back and fallen. So it's an open doorway with a door. You've not actually broken it, you've broken the hinges of what's happened.
We're expecting the crowbar.
And at this point, if you all want to go to the toilet or do anything like that, I'll start drawing what you see down that corridor.
I need to
Central then. Do you think?
Yeah, be right back. My Mike, we're on.
Lights, camera, action.
We are live.
Cool. So we are out of combat. As far as you're aware, nothing is currently attacking you.
No, as far as you're aware.
Do you know what I really like about this group, and I'm going to definitely come out and say it? No one's done anything stealthily yet. Like, not even slightly, not remotely, not carefully.
Where's the fun
You've
in that?
lit- I love it, because most games get strangled by someone being too cautious and it never moves on. I like that. Be cautious sometimes, but not all the time.
Yeah. No, that's why I was saying, when you were saying you like to, as long as it's having fun, you'll generally make it work.
Yeah.
Well, that's how me and Smiler play.
Yeah. And I'm also, if that's how you play, I'm not going to punish you too much for not doing that, because that's obviously not what you enjoy doing. There will be times though where you might need to do it. So you need to, and I'll try and make sure that it's clear that actually you need to think about how you're doing this, rather than just being, actually this time you've done something exactly the same as how you've always done it, this time you lose. It's not.
To be fair, the last campaign that I did for Sid and Cal, they'd all sneak in stealthily. Cal would run in, try and intimidate someone by screaming at them.
Cal would Leroy Jenkins everything.
Yeah. Leroy Jenkins! He's like, dude. And he'd always succeed as well. It was really frustrating.
So
He
far,
doesn't like anything, unless it's one shot, he doesn't want to play.
really,
He can't,
Doesn't like the
he's
long
like,
side.
I can't do it. He can't.
If you don't, you don't. You know. You
No,
like
that's
don't
it,
you?
exactly, yeah.
So far, is anything I'm doing or that anyone's done that hasn't gone how you expected to? I just wanted to explain it because now it's quite.
No. No, I think
No.
we're,
Okay. Don't worry, I'm not precious about how I do things. If
Yeah.
you would like me to do something differently or want me to explain it, I will happily do it. And I usually try and explain as I go anyway, because then everyone knows why I've done something.
Can I see that spiky little?
You can see all the way to that far point
Okay.
because it's lit. Those orange points are torches that are attached to the wall that are lit.
Okay.
oh, there's a spiky.
No one else can see through that door other than arguably Siddle. But you can't really see anything in that tunnel, just that there is a tunnel there that's lit. But you can see the bear trap. It is a clear bear trap. There's no bait on the middle bit, but it is clearly a set
there's a bugbear
trap.
trying in there. I nearly played as a bugbear, it was one of the options. I'm like, oh, that would be interesting. I don't know if they speak.
Underground, do you want to check out this tunnel with me? It's well lit.
So
dying,
just
let's
so we know where we're all at, so you've just blasted the door. You've got a bucket of clear
Water.
liquid.
Yeah.
Siddle's just getting up from bringing Wetico back to life, and Wetico is currently lying down. He's still prone, he's not stood up yet. That's where
Doesn't
you're
have
at.
to be on his face.
Well,
He's laying on his back.
I'll start by getting up.
cool.
But yeah, I'll wander over towards the farm door.
Oh, you're welcome.
Getting rude.
Where are those coins?
I've just got that in my pocket. I don't know.
Real coins, that's how good they are.
I don't know, did I not give you
Oh no,
that?
you did give them back. They're just hidden
Oh,
by swathes of. There you go. I like that. I like that there. So do you know how inspiration works?
No, I don't actually.
Cool. All right. At any point, you might get an inspiration coin from me. If you use it in that session, just chuck me a coin back when you use it. If you don't use it in the session, you'll put a mark. If you just grab that character sheet just over there, there is a little box that says inspiration middle, just underneath it. Hit die. Just there, yeah.
Alright.
And
There's a thing
you
in
basically just put
D&D
one
cards as well.
inspiration. At any point, you get advantage on a attack or a skill check, but you have to announce that you use an inspiration
Okay.
before you know the outcome. So, if you roll to attack and you rolled a 5 and you think that's quite likely to miss, before I've said you've missed, you have to say, I'm going to use my inspiration here and roll with advantage.
Oh,
Or
so
you
before-
could actually
right,
announce it beforehand and say, I'm going to use my inspiration here anyway before you've rolled anything and roll both with advantage.
Ah, okay, cool.
Okay, you can cash it in at any point, and as I say, if you use it in the same session, chuck me the coin back when you've done it. If you don't, give me the coin back at the end of the session, but put a marker on your sheet so you know you've got
They've
inspiration.
come
to
out
use.
so well. Have you seen? Cool, cool.
So I have to show the camera.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's not exactly going to be able to see that properly.
I'm a bit closer.
Yeah,
Let's see if the
the
focus
light's
works.
a bit.
Nope.
No.
Wait, we're nearly there.
Angle
There
it,
we
Angle
go.
it a little bit, so the light's not bouncing off it the same. There you go.
You ever considered hand modelling, Jam?
Yeah, I have. No, I know the kind of jokes. I stop myself. I was like, we're streaming. We're streaming. Shut the.
Okay, so
Shut the front door.
so I go back to where Alexa. Are you going to come and check this corridor out
I want to see if I can boil this water around.
in the fire, chance?
Yeah. Well, it's
You don't know it's water though.
It's
Remember,
clear liquid.
the other thing that she had in her bowl was flammable. I mean, yeah, crack on. Let's take this potentially
Listen, I
flammable
know that
liquid.
it was potentially
It
flammable.
sizzled and crackled. It looked like water. Like
Can I splash a little bit
She
of it
could
on the
be
fire to
making
see if
gin.
it is?
when you say splash a little bit, how are you going to do it? You're chucking it from a bucket.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like splash a little bit.
No.
So you're still holding the bucket,
Yeah.
and you're getting your hand wet
No.
and throwing. Okay,
No,
go.
I'm
Just
holding
tell
the
me
bucket.
through. Yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm just gonna jug it a little bit so a little bit goes onto the fire.
You know,
Sorry, so you're still holding the bucket
Yeah.
with all of the liquid in, and there's
So-
going to be a stream of it in the air
Yeah,
at some
so-
point,
You know, the
It's like
not
chugging
chugging barbecue
or
or
petrol.
fires
Just petrol
or
at any
energy-
point.
energy-
When it's like, don't squeeze the bottle for
Yeah.
too long because it'll come back up.
It wouldn't be a stream, it'd be more like blocks of it because I just drug it up. And
So you're
chug
going
Yeah.
and hoping there's not like a.
it, hoping that there's not a stream,
Yeah,
it just
yeah,
goes
yeah,
into the
yeah.
air, but
Okay.
it comes back with the water.
Okay, so-
you don't understand how paper works.
Can I
I
move
think you
away
should
from
He would explain a lot of things to you.
Right,
Did you not
okay,
do
with
this?
where you're all stood and you're getting up, and how long it will take
I
you to pull
can't
the
take a
bucket.
step back.
I'm going to
Can I move away from the fire?
say, right, you could move away from the fire. Actually, right, let's be realistic about this. You've pulled the bucket up, the time it's taken to pull the bucket up, you've stood up. So you're looking at the fire. You're all exactly where you are right now before he throws whatever he's going to do in the fire.
No.
Do you do anything before he does it?
Well, I was there, so I'm just going to go, boop, seeing that he's about to.
Yeah.
Oh shit! What the
Are
fuck?
you explaining anything about what you're doing? You're just doing it.
No, I'm just doing it.
Okay. You're not checking it or anything. Okay. Fine.
I saw. Did I not let
Just
the
air
contents
flyers,
of the bowl were flammable when it went in the fire?
Everyone will have. Oh, actually, no, you wouldn't have seen that. But what you did see, because you were close enough to see the liquid, this is where I'm going to message you.
Wonders of technology.
So this is what I'll do in game because I think it's a much better way of doing it than just saying.
That way
I'm
of doing a
pretending.
whisper, isn't it?
Yeah. There you go. That's what you saw. You were up close to it. No one else would have seen that.
Okay, and the bucket that's come up from the well, transparent or
Clear liquid.
all right? I'm not too worried. I'm not too bothered then.
Okay.
No, I'm just going to hold it and just go
Okay.
see what happens. See if it either sizzles or
The
Let's find
meat gets soggy and the flames die a little and then eventually bubble and crackle and come back to life. It acts how you would expect water to act.
So I'm going to do a circle round the fire and just start pushing like the chairs, anything that looks flammable, the sleeping rolls, and just start chucking them in the fire.
Okay, you're just doing that. You're not telling anyone what you're doing, why you're doing it.
Oh, if, whilst I'm doing it, I'll say to everyone, don't want to come back, eh?
Is it not worth finding out what that putrid smell is?
No.
Yeah. Just
let it go fire.
just put it in the fire.
That's absolutely fine.
As long as you wash your hands afterwards, that's all I'm caring about.
On smell, not good. Either way, in the fire.
Cool. Sounds good to me.
Whilst
Then.
they're making this fire bigger, can I then put the lid of the bucket onto the
The lid of the bucket.
not lid, the
Handle?
handle.
Handle.
Do you know what buckets are made of?
Wood, yes.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
well,
cool.
So
just checking.
what do you want to do, sir?
And I want to try and put it a bit not high enough.
So you want it high enough that the flames boil the water but don't
Don't
set
burn
fire
the
to the
wood, yes.
wood.
But the wood
I
would
don't
be
think
damp
that's-
as well. So
On one side,
Where the water is.
It doesn't just, if it just
This-
sinks through, it'd be a pointless bucket, wouldn't it?
No,
This
It
idea
still
that
soaks
you
into
had,
wood.
it would be
Think about the JD
Yeah, no,
train.
it does, but eventually,
it would dampen the inside as well.
If,
If it goes in to fill the well.
whilst-
that's true, it'd be wet.
whilst you're trying to boil
a wooden.
a wooden bucket, I'm just going
How
to
long does water take to boil?
go have a look.
Yeah,
Go
enough
have
to
a
dry
look
out the wood
behind
probably,
the,
'cause it's vaporising it.
Go have a look behind the well.
Keep it hot. Might get stuck.
You might want to,
You
because someone already knows what's there.
She's
To
upset now.
stop being an
She's gonna
idiot.
die.
Just go behind
Yeah.
the well.
think about it.
Can I then lodge the one button above the fire so it stays there also go check? So,
So you want to lodge the bucket
no, because I've got it onto the fork
on your forked rod,
rod, yeah.
right?
So I want to like see if I can lodge that somewhere so it's leaning against
So it's in the fire.
basically. Yeah.
So you want the bucket in the fire. That's all I want to know. You want the bucket in the
Yeah,
fire.
basically it's in the fire.
Okay.
Try and boil it, and then I'll go.
And just so I understand how you're doing this, so you've got a rod and a stone floor. Just I'm really trying to go with
See,
you.
I'll
I'm
I'm struggling, but I'm
I
trying
was
to.
thinking like see if there's like a crack.
I'm going
in
to
the
drag
floor
this
or-
forward and go through the door while being careful of something.
Just
on
pop
the
yourself the other side of the door, but in front of the bear trap.
What I'm going to do is as you're trying to jam a rod in a crack, I'll just grab.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, yeah.
It's an apt description.
Yeah.
of what it's like.
That's what I said.
I know you've been single for a little while, but come on.
Please go have some of those bacon fries. Or scampi fries, whichever they are.
Oh, yeah, please.
Oh, the crisp.
Yes.
But I'll,
you go
I'll,
downstairs.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
I'll grab a hold of it and just sort of, I'll hold it.
Three, does
So
anyone
you're
else
holding
want
the
to
rod
hear
forward.
advance on
Yeah.
three?
Over the fire.
And, then
And you're going to go look behind there.
look behind the.
Okay.
Pounds
The
for a bag of bacon
second he
fries.
goes to
What
the
about
well, I'm just going to take the bucket off and toss it in the fire.
The bucket.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. There's a cauldron in there. There's a cauldron on the other side of that well. But the bucket's now on the fire.
Right.
Oh,
I'm gonna come out the
wow.
cauldron.
That's one of those moments, like everyone's trying to really strongly hint that you don't do anything, but you're not taking the hint at all.
That's great. I love it.
No,
I'm then going to take the rod and wander to the other door.
I'm just gonna drag the cauldron out and
I'll head round that
show them
way.
it's there and then leave it.
You leaving the cauldron where it was.
How big is the cauldron?
It would fit down the well. Just.
So it's
You
quite
pour some
large.
water on this
It's too big for your,
one.
it's too big for your pockets.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'll leave it. It's too big. I'm just gonna leave it.
As I said, if you pick about this water for longer, I'm going to
Look quite sad.
hellish rebuke
See,
you.
see these guys all leaving me and then just be like, okay. Oh,
Right. So,
Once we all step through, the door locks and the hack comes back and kills you.
I go back
Cool.
to my best friend.
so Abgron, pop yourself in line with Siddle. You can all see the bear trap through the open door. The door isn't there. The door is broken off by its hinge. It's lying against the side of that tunnel.
Rod's about 5 foot, right?
5
So
foot rod.
bear trap, it's got like a central plate in the middle. Can I just use the end of the rod to depress that? And I don't really care what happens to the rod. I just want to trigger the trap.
And so you're both stood looking at the bear trap and you're just going to prod it with the rod.
Yeah.
Roll a strength to see how hard you press it.
Natural 20.
You press it pretty hard.
Yeah.
Closes on the rod. Doesn't break the rod, clearly damages it. Doesn't quite bend it, but it's got like a mark where it's hit.
My
The
rod.
rod's damaged again.
No, my rod.
It was a reasonable amount of force. And you can, both of you two, roll a perception.
13.
13.
12.
You hear the sound of a chain. You know when a chain's
Put
like,
the bear trap back, put the bear
you
trap
know,
back.
you know when a chain is over something metal and just running. You hear that. You know the sound because you're in a tunnel and it's echoey. You're not sure where that sound's coming from. You know that sound is coming from directly above you.
2 steps
Roll
back.
a dexterity check, both of you.
Check or saving throw?
Check.
Natural 1.
Oh,
yeah.
Actually, at this point, I would like to exercise my lucky feat to re-roll that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, better. 16.
How many
Okay.
times can you do that?
3 times the section.
Right, you can't jump backwards because you've got someone right behind you. There's nowhere to go. So you've got to jump forwards. Okay? How far are you jumping?
I'll do a roll. I'll roll to like this.
What, over the bear trap?
torch.
Pop yourself there.
How far can you jump?
Your strength, I believe. Oh no, from a standing, it's. Oh, I need to double check that. Oh, I know it, and I've just forgotten. I need to just double check.
to look that up once. and I can't remember it.
Standing jump is less than that, so let me just double check it.
I'm not going to have to show my wings.
When you make a standing long jump, you can leap only half that distance. So whatever your strength is as a total, that's how far you can do a long jump when running, half that when standing. So what's your strength?
16.
8 feet. There you go. Awesome. This isn't a bear trap. It's an owl bear trap.
You were so close, Sid. Oh, fuck.
Oh, it's so cool.
Woohoo. In fact, let's just roll something.
Can we, before we roll initiative, can I communicate with it, please?
Oh, it's a creature.
So, sorry, so how initiative works is how quickly you respond to something. So you want to, before responding to a creature, respond to the creature.
All right.
I can't
No,
reasonably,
no.
yeah, I can't. I've got to do it.
Also, in fairness, you're not in that room.
Yeah.
You just hear
You're looking
themselves
through
a
a
bear
door
trap,
and
see
there's
some
a-
people jump, and then there's an owl bear there.
That's
Hi, nice to meet you. I mean, that was what I was going to say.
Roll initiative.
20.
17.
Can I hit the owlbear with him?
I'll hit him with the elbow.
Swinging by his leg.
So,
Oh,
which
that's
goes a
heavy.
1. So what's it in total? 2? 3. Okay. Anyone higher than 20? Anyone higher than 15?
17.
Anyone higher than 10?
13.
What was yours?
20.
Oh.
Sorry, I thought that's
That's
why
right.
you said
My
20.
fault. No, I did say higher, and then left 20 into that.
Yeah.
And then I put my other peg there, which is. Still alright. Okay, I like this. Run away.
Can I stealthily attack the owlbear?
I must have known I was going to do this because this was bookmarked to this page. I didn't know I was going to do it, but somehow I did. Okay, that's a 10. So that's where the owl bear. So the owl bear had, I gave him disadvantage on his initiative because he's been dropped from a height. I feel like that would affect how well you were able to react to what's going on.
I do enjoy the concept of an owl bear trap.
What do you mean dropped from a height? Is that what you said?
No, he's being dropped from that one there. Like,
Yeah.
Instead of him like seeing us above us and jumping, the trap triggered him coming down.
We're just going to slowly walk this way.
So that's what you're doing. You're walking away.
I'm going to stealthily.
You have to carry on with what you're doing there.
No, that's it.
With my arm blades.
So you're going to. So are they a mechanism that come out like Assassin's Creed? And it's what, one blade on each hand?
Okay.
And then just run at him like that.
Say run at him, I mean he's there.
So you're just attacking him.
Yeah.
Roll to hit. You've got the offhand attack. So the first one is your first blade to see if you hit with that. What'd you roll?
No?
Was it a natural 1?
No. You'll know if it's natural.
Yeah,
Because I go, oh.
And the second one. Which one was it?
It's not a natural one.
So that's 2 misses. So you've gone like this. You go.
The bear's too big. I got thrown off by the feathers.
Has anyone seen an owl with its feathers removed?
Yeah.
That's probably what happened. If you haven't seen it, they're like
It's
their legs are like
ridiculous.
that, but they're that fat. Yeah. There's feathers everywhere. You were expecting to feel some resistance. Nothing
Yeah,
happened.
they're skinny as fuck.
Okay. Next up is Agron.
Right, so I want to just shout to everyone. Calm down, let me handle this.
The Mancunian comes. Calm down, calm down.
Calm down, nothing to see here. And then I want to use the owlbear whisper
Owlbear whisper.
Yeah.
Cool.
onto it, which is...
Do you want to just show me on the screen what it's on here? Just remind me of that.
Seems always specific, but you have that.
I know, right? Owlbear's not me. What can I say? I've got a feel at home.
Okay.
You like those white women with the big dogs?
Roll a
Yeah.
charisma check. You are looking for DC 10.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, nothing happens.
Alright, ignore what I said, guys.
Calm down, calm down. He speaks what sounds like owl hoots, and nothing happens. you know, like on Finding Nemo when Dory goes, "I speak whale."
Yeah.
It's like that. It does that.
And we were like,
You will let us.
Ignore me, guys.
Cool. You do any movement?
I'm just
get closer. I would.
stay where I
Does
am.
it say as an action or a bonus action? Just you might have an action set in it. It doesn't say either. I'd
Action.
assume action. Yeah.
It's an
Okay.
action.
Cool. Yeah. So you got movement if you want it, but if not,
No, I'm gonna roughly stay where I am so I can see it and maybe I'll just,
wondering why it didn't work.
yeah, just like, okay.
Cool.
Maybe I angered it.
Siddle.
Cool. I'm gonna. Can I see it properly, or do I have to move through?
No,
the
you
door?
are. You can see the owl
There's
is
no
taken.
door.
It's filling the door.
Cool. I will cast poison spray.
You're gonna piss on it. that's how I imagine poison spray works. where like
It's a puff
natural
of
thing.
noxious gas.
Oh,
Sorry,
it's
it's
a
a
fire.
fire.
It's a fire. Sorry. When it's
So I
spraying
turn
though, it sounds
around.
more like.
Bend over.
Where does it come from?
My hand. You
So
extend your hand.
Spider-Man's, but gassy.
You extend your hand toward a creature you can see within range and project a puff of noxious gas from your palm.
So what do they have to? Is it a con check?
Yes, Constitution saving throw.
Of
12.
12.
Oh no, it just says Constitution. Oh wait, hang on. Where do I
Your
look?
DC.
Oh, 11, sorry.
11. Cool. Was it +3? It's a pass. Does it get half on a pass or just
It does not.
cool? Is it a cantrip?
It is.
Cool. Yeah, you tend to not get anything.
So, can I pick up any stones as a bonus action?
Again, happy for you to roll investigation. I'm going to say DC 10 before I die.
No.
13.
Yep, that's fine. You find a stone.
3 stones.
3 stones. You can find 3 stones,
Cool.
all smaller than a fist.
Cool. And then, so I magic them into attacky stones.
Okay, so you can't use them this turn.
No, I can't use them this turn. I can only turn them into magic stones.
Yeah. Cool. Next up is the owlbear. Okay, so I've already rolled to see which direction he's facing. And so far, someone's tried to speak to him, and then someone sprayed some funny gas at him that didn't do anything. He's going to attack you, because you are right in front of him and spraying
So you
gas at him.
attacked him at all?
Oh,
With
yeah.
a blade!
Actually, no, he felt that. He will have felt it, but it didn't hurt him. He would have felt that happen in the
So
feathers.
like basically some tickling.
So, he is going to...
Why did I bring that to your attention?
Thanks for that, because I have only 8 hit points. 'cause I
Ah, here we go. Okay, what he's going to do, he's surprised by both. He reacts to something in that direction that doesn't seem to be you. Like it's a different reaction, not to the spray, to something else. And turns to Castiel swinging its claws and beak because it has a multi-attack.
Duck.
No, it's an owl.
So, first attack is with the claws. Does a 16 hit.
No.
Cool. And now with beak, does a 14 hit. No, it doesn't. So he misses with both.
Fuck you, bird.
Managed to duck.
You're already at 5 feet from each other, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. He's not going to do anything else, any movement. Awesome.
Can I open that trap?
Let's go first.
I'm going to move 5 feet in this direction.
Yep.
I'd like to pull the torch from the wall and just chuck it at the very flammable feathered thing.
Roll you can choose whether
With
you're
the
doing
noxious
this
gas around
dexterously or with strength.
Let's go
So
strength.
it's a thrown attack. So you're going strength?
Yep.
Roll to hit. It's an improvised weapon, but that doesn't really matter at this point.
Do we get proficiency to that?
Do you have proficiency with thrown weapons?
I'll have to check.
Yeah. If you do, yep. If you don't, then no.
1 second.
What weapons do you have? Do you have any thrown weapons? No.
I have hand axes.
Okay.
I
You
have.
probably do.
I have. As a fighter, I do have proficiency in simple and martial weapons.
Yeah, that's actually fine. Simple weapons are a thrown weapon, I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
So 16 then.
16 hits. Okay, torch damage, fire damage. Must be. Okay, do you want to roll a d6 for damage? I think probably about right for a torch. Being a flammable bird. 3 damage, yeah, that sounds probably about right. Wow. Awesome. So you've done 3 damage. And its right wing is currently slightly on fire and smouldering. You're up, Castiel.
Is that it trying to blow it out?
I think we all reached the same conclusion there.
Too far. Does he speak any languages? This outback probably doesn't.
It speaks owl
I'll
bear.
have to forget about that.
I've just got a thing that really relies on him speaking English. Well, not English.
English.
A language.
It speaks owl bear. It doesn't say any other languages here, and I would, unless you can give me a reason why it would understand the language, you'd have to like befriended a human and lived with him for years now. No.
In fairness, he was shoved in a trap.
He's a magical owl bear.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I tried.
Well, I'm a magical.
I can speak to.
You are. That's why you have Eldritch Blast.
All animals understand me, but I can't always understand them.
When you say
I think-
animals, it sounds like you mean something else.
I'm going to hazard a
Makes
guess
sense.
on aggressive fist swiping and pecking that he's saying something along the lines of, oh, you fuck you.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Do I want to stab him? Do I want to? Can I? Is there like something for disengaging? If you want to.
You can disengage as an action, I think, if you have it in your list of actions. I don't know if anyone doesn't have it though. That's why I'm saying that.
I don't think I have it.
I think it is a standard action.
I think
for
most people do
Is
that.
it?
There might be some.
Everyone can disengage
Yeah.
as an action.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
But you then
It just means you can't attack. So you can
Well, you
move
can
out
with
of
your
the
bonus
space.
action. You can throw a stone.
Unless something has an ability that ignores that.
Oh.
Ooh, we've got a new follower. Hey, new follower that I can't read. Sorry.
Sambo Bob.
Sambo Bob.
Sambo.
Hello.
So I'm going to disengage.
And then your normal movement away.
And I'm going to magic stone.
Do you want me just to tell you what's there before you... No, finish there, that's fine. You can see a bit more Might not change anything.
I'm just gonna fuck off. See you later, guys. Have fun with this.
So you talking to it.
Peace. We did, and you hooted in its face.
And I think
You basically did the
There
English thing
is-
as English person on holiday.
A room through there in which you can make out a desk.
It's poorly made.
There's a portcullis here, that's why you can see through it, but there's a desk there with some stuff on it. And a chair. Yeah, that's all you can really see from there.
Cool. So as my bonus action, I'm going to cast Magic Stone on 3 of my ball bearings.
Okay.
That's there.
Oh yeah, you failed, didn't you last time?
I just chose not to.
Cool. Next up is the one the name I always forget, Adgron. It doesn't really roll off the tongue, Adgron. It's quite a hard word to say.
it sounds quite dwarven.
I keep thinking like Hadron.
One of Smiler's old ones you wouldn't be able to pronounce whilst on string.
It's Nordic. It's not my name. I think I might have killed him off though.
I want to try and
Yeah, I've killed him
get a
off.
little bit closer again and try and calm him down.
So you're going to try it again?
Yep.
What does it say anything about trying it a second time? No, it doesn't.
It doesn't know. It just says that I can use an action to make them from aggressive to
I'm going to allow you to do it,
indifferent.
but it's called Owlbear Whisper. And you're doing this from a distance. It's facing
That's
the
why
way
I'm
you've
moving
been
a little bit
attacked.
closer.
Yeah, that's fine. Unless you are, unless he's looking at you,
Yeah.
it's going to be a disadvantage what you're trying now.
Yeah.
Okay? So roll it as disadvantage.
Nope.
What are you hoping to succeed by doing this?
No. I don't know why I rolled the second time.
I know.
This time
It's in the
What's
different
gonna
way.
get
You
you
failed the
back?
first one. Cool. So that
Make it
failed.
friendly. No pet.
You know anything else?
You want an owl bear as a pet? You are
Yes.
a middle class white one.
No pet. No.
You're an
I mean,
Owlbear
technically, if you
dealer.
spoke a language, I could
Dealer.
talk.
Would you like me to try and make it friendly for you?
That's what I'm gonna say that to him. Let's try and make it friendly.
Okay.
It's my go, isn't it?
No, yeah.
I'm gonna shout that to see if it echoes down the hall for those two. Don't keep attacking it.
I'm going to be honest. I moved back so that I can do lots of bang bang explodey stuff.
Signals up.
So I'm going to use my druidic racial trait of speech of beast and leaf. Is it a beast?
It's a monstrosity.
Creature.
It's a creature.
So no, is the
Yeah,
answer.
technically it's not a beast, it's a monstrosity.
Okay, so I won't try and make it because it's not a plant either. So
Is
No,
it-
it's not a
Is
plant.
it a plant with feathers are very similar to leaves? But
So sorry, I
not the
cannot try and help. So I will try.
We
and
can try and help, but it probably isn't going to work.
No, it won't understand me unless it was a beast. So I will.
And even if it could understand
It's
you, I'd
a-
be probably doing the same thing with him not even looking at you and angrily looking towards things
I
attacking
feel
you.
like I might be a murder hobo.
I don't know.
So I will use ice.
I'm in.
I will cast ice
Pretty much
knife.
what you are.
Create a shard of ice and fling it at one creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack and a hit. It takes 1 10 piece of damage.
Cool. Roll to hit.
16.
Hits. What's the damage?
4.
That's a bonus.
Can you all roll a perception?
As a
No.
bonus action,
You can still do bonus action. that's
Or
fine.
roll what?
Just roll a perception.
14.
16.
12. 15. 14, 15, 16, 17, 16.
14.
Damn it.
Okay. All of you realise
It's a bear.
owlbears are reasonably common as things, and especially in the kind of harsher environments. There's snow owlbears and things like that around. You would recognise that as far as owlbears go, this is a malnourished one.
Oh, okay.
He might be magic, but he might have been there a while.
What if we go back and get some
That's
of the
going
meat?
to be quite hard to get because the flame is going to be quite large now.
I mean, that might have worked before you stabbed him with a shard of ice.
Yeah.
It might be
It's
able to
melted though, he won't feel
What
it.
was your bonus action?
Throwing a magic stone at it.
Before then trying to make him happy. Okay, go on.
I'd already kind of said that.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
definitely not looking
So-
at me.
Well, no, I asked for it before you said it, so you've perceived he's malnourished before you've done this action. So you can do something different if you want, or you can just do it. You still might want to kill him. You might decide it's not worth taking a risk.
I'm just going to throw the stone. Fuck it.
Yep. Okay. So roll to hit.
11.
11 misses.
And I can now go back and get food.
Albert. So just so I'm
He
getting
better
this
have known
right,
he's being stabbed and the stone thrown at him. Just,
you. What did you do to it?
I just ran away like a pussy.
And what did you do to it?
Threw a torch at it.
Taurus. That's the one. Still on fire. You've then thrown ice shards at it.
Did it put out the fire?
No, because he's on one side and he's been hit with the other.
No, fair play.
He's most recently been hit with the ice shards, but he's already bothered about the fire. He's going to go towards you. So if you can move him straight forwards towards, he's going to go into contact and
50?
multi-attack. So does a 16 hit? No, it's not 16. In fact, does a 13 hit?
No.
And the second attack does a 10 hit. I would
No.
guess not. He's not attacking very well. This malnourished old man.
Needs to eat something.
He's white. I know that one is actually
Well,
quite
he's
white.
currently
He's
trying to
very
eat
white.
me, and I'm kind of attached to me. So
Yeah. You need have a Snickers.
you know yourself when you haven't eaten. Have a Snickers.
Throw a Snickers.
Charlie did that to me the other day. I was in a bit of a bad mood. She just came up to me with the Snickers and went, "Here, you don't you when you're hungry."
that was
Thanks, babe, but I'm not hungry.
Cool. So he doesn't manage to hit, and you're up.
Well, I kind of had a bit of sympathy, but now he's trying to take my head off, so I am going to just stab
After you
him.
throw a flaming torch at him. Sorry, I just think that's important. Yeah, I think that's important to put in there that he didn't see the other attack.
Kitty says an
He's
Alzheimer's is
sorry.
a laugh, and she's a gardener, so.
Yeah, he's malnourished and scrawny. You know, I could have stabbed him with a sword. I just threw a torch at him.
And he's now on fire.
And he's now on fire, but I might
And
as
he
well
saw you do
kill
it.
him.
Was it, and most animals aren't too fond of fire.
No,
No. And,
I'm going to try and kill him
there
too.
isn't many animals that, when burnt, don't run away, and in this case, he's trapped in both directions, or attacks the thing that attacks them. And you're the only one who's seen attacking.
It was a good idea if they'd gotten out of the way. I didn't communicate
Yeah.
that in any
Yeah.
way. I just assumed.
Because actually, other than you, everyone who's attacked him so far has attacked his back. So yeah, he's attacking you.
Fine, stab him.
Stab him.
Or at least
Don't
try.
forget, he's hard to hit. As we found out.
Does 21 work?
Yes, a 21 hits.
Sure.
That is 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. Wow. Okay. Your owlbear is severely injured. You've actually damaged. You've put out the fire by taking out a huge portion of his wing that was on fire.
Just cut his arm off.
It's not off, but it's going to take some healing to use that wing.
Can I just scream at the injured, bleeding owl bear and see if we can get it to run in the opposite direction?
So you want to intimidate
I want to
it
give it a
as
go.
a bonus action.
Sure.
Happy for you to try that. Roll with advantage, seems like you just nearly hacked off its arm.
Can I ask a quick question?
You can.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. I'm going to do it as an opposed check. It's a nat 20. He's not. He might be scared, but he's not running. That's a shame.
That's fine.
It's a quick question then. Do they effectively become cantrips in a way? Because of when I say I've used my 2 slots, it still says I can use those 2.
Let me just check.
Is it because it's part of my druidic? Because they're part of my druid.
No, it's because you
traits.
can use them once per short rest.
Ah, right.
So they've got their own. They're
They've got
just the
their own
first
thing on
level.
top of the-
Yeah, so you can
Oh,
still
okay,
use
cool.
them after those slots have gone. Is it the same with disguise self?
It's just that they don't disappear.
I'm not sure about disguise self. I might have to look at that one a bit more closely because it doesn't say it as clearly. But the detect magic is just you can use that at any point.
It's just that it doesn't disappear when I say I've used my 2 slots.
Yeah.
and the others do.
I would imagine
So I
it's
wonder
the
if
same
it's
reason. I
because
just had Nick's druid background and
Yeah,
messed
yeah.
with that. To
I'm
check.
probably not going to use either of them right now anyway. It
Yeah.
was just because it came up there and then. Cool.
I assume you're Hadoukening.
Hadouken. 18.
I love that every time so far you've Hadoukened, Wetico has been in the way. So far, you've rolled in.
I'm starting to get the impression that you don't like me.
I'd imagine you're getting used to the sound of a fireball going.
Yeah, just
So
You just know to duck at the right time.
Ooh, and I rolled a 9.
he's just managed to have learned how to curve it. That's all.
What's that film?
9 plus 1.
Wanted.
Wanted.
Yeah.
Cool. So you nat 20 and roll a 9. So 18
Mythbusters
damage.
tried that.
Yeah.
Is that right?
It was what?
Was it a nat 20?
No,
Oh,
it was
sorry.
an 8. It was 8. You threw me there because I was like, none of those numbers were right.
Okay.
It was 18 to hit. I take it, and then 10 on the damage.
Okay. 10 damage. How do you do it?
What?
How do you do it? Where have you hit it? You've seen Critical Role, yeah?
It's
All
the
right.
face.
How do you
the
do
face.
it? The face. The face. The head's off. Done.
Cool.
Burn its head off. Put it out of its misery. And it falls in a heap onto Wetico. That's how I'm going with that. Forwards, it was coming at him, so it's fallen on him.
Blew his head off and he fell forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can roll a strength check to see if it knocks you prone.
24.
You're fine. You manage to just move out of the way slightly as it comes down. But it's right next to you. In a heap. You're all out of combat.
Cool. I'll try talking to it now.
And I skin it and turn it into a coat now.
I mean, I could take some time to do. You can do a feathered coat, though.
Can we start yelling duck? Can we just implement that as a rule? Where we just start yelling duck if we're going to send fireballs next to my head?
Hey, we haven't needed to use the crit fail table. I can't wait
That's
till we
what
do.
Hadouken means in my language.
What, duck? Hadouken. And it's like duck. Hadouken.
Hadouken.
Duck and
It's
Duck hen.
It's Welsh for are you ducking? Are you ducking?
Cool. So, what do you want to do?
go that way, I guess.
So this portcullis.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to catch
it
it.
now has a hole in it. Can I go through that hole?
It now has a hole in it.
Am I going to pluck
Why
some
is that
metal
hole in
from
it?
it?
You come
No,
down.
no, I was like this. Oh, yeah. Pew pew. There's a starfish.
There is a metal star inlaid into the stone, exactly in a 5-point star that reaches the outermost point of the circular room that it's in.
Right.
I know it doesn't. I did it at
No.
speed. But that's what that is.
Yeah.
And in the middle of that star is a desk with scrolls and one chair.
It looks like a mildly upset starfish. From a cartoon. 2 of them.
You've been pissing off Patrick Star.
Yeah. So
One
the
second.
portcullis is there
One
any?
second.
Oh bollocks!
Spot on there.
That is crazy.
It's not finished. It's nearly
Still,
finished.
it's still
There's a really
ridiculous.
cool tree top. That's a bit older.
Oh, is there?
2 halves.
Is that in the room?
It was to the side, but now if you walk towards it, you could see it if you looked in because it's a circular room. There's not many places to hide.
And it's just sort of floating about doing its thing.
It almost is so aware of everything that it knew you were there the whole time anyway.
I vote we go back the other way.
Yeah, I reckon we go back to town. I reckon this has been
Yeah, that was fun.
Wonderful.
No, 'cause it's a hagger.
I'll take all our chances with the hag.
Sorry, can who's the next person? Adgrin, can you roll a perception check, please?
You just reminded them about the hag and now she's going to
17.
reappear.
The door behind you slams shut, even though it wasn't on the hinges.
So she picked it up.
Oh no, that's still there.
Yeah, that's a dead thing.
Oh, God.
I was currently pulling feathers off it.
In fact, at this point, the owlbear bursts
Bursts the
into flames.
It was.
You've got.
Oh, now it works.
Can you roll another dexterity check? So the moment you've just stepped away, now to see if you're going to get burnt.
Luck?
Yes.
Yeah, you can. Is it a natural one? Roll?
It's not.
Oh no, isn't that how luck works? It's not a natural one.
No, it's.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's
and
lucky.
you
Sorry.
can-
yeah, yeah.
You can elect to re-roll the roll before
Three
the.
times.
It's 3 times before the result is announced.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I reckon a 2's not going to do it.
Yeah, and you were getting burned.
16.
You can take a step in any direction you wish,
Cool.
Not
Away.
as long as there isn't a wall in the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Bang! Oh,
Okay.
fuck.
The owlbear bursts into flames, almost instantly disintegrates, but there is a shockwave of flame. Everyone else, take a dexterity check. 15, you're trying to get.
I rolled 18.
I was 16 without looking at my modifiers. So.
You luckily all manage to duck out of the way of most of the force, and it goes upwards as
21.
fire does, it rises and doesn't actually catch any of you.
So I'm going to head towards these guys to see what's
And you hear a click.
Doors locked.
The bear trap seems to be set.
I'm right next to them.
What do you want to do?
Duking him onto the bear trap. See if it says
Just this one owlbear, this ever perpetuating circle of death. What is it like?
I
Die
will-
another day? Like, what's that Tom Cruise
Die
film?
Another
Die
Day.
Another Day.
I'll detect. I'll detect magic.
Detect magic on what?
The area.
There is magic.
Yeah, no. It's not. It says presence within 30 feet. It says
Yes,
magic.
Yeah, there is.
There is magic.
You can see a faint aura around any visible visible creature. I read that as invisible. Never mind.
Either
There is
way,
magic.
he said at the beginning it was a magic owl bear.
Yeah, no, I was trying to see if I could see an aura around the old hag. I read invisible.
Actually,
Not visible.
1 second. I'm just going to check something.
I'm out. See that. He's thinking too long. Nothing good comes from thinking too long.
Start digging a hole.
Does it tell you where the magic's coming from? Let me read that.
I don't think it'll work out because I read it as invisible, so I don't think it's right.
You cannot detect any magic because the bear trap itself. So how you see it as an aura, yeah.
So I've used that.
So
haven't I?
you detect that there has been magic on the bear trap, but there is now no magic on the bear trap. So it's like you know how an aura disappears.
Yeah.
It's like that's what you see on the bear trap. So the
It was
mechanism
magic,
itself
but-
isn't a magical mechanism,
But it's
but
something,
something
has
with magic.
touched
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
We still got that right.
Almost like a Mandalorian looking for footprints.
Yeah, very similar to that.
The rod would have fallen onto the floor.
Do you want to play
The
a
rod
study
is still there with a slight kink in it.
Yeah, but it's not
We
still
can
a
do one of those
No.
sessions if you want.
It's just lying
totally.
on the floor.
Although I've already called that I'm being the bounty hunter. Because it's my game. And it's my bar.
Yeah, well,
Actually, it's my game as a DM. I get to say that.
It's my bar.
Actually, it's his forked rod.
He's talking about
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian playing Age of the Empire.
Yeah.
Well, I'm ready to play that whenever anyone wants to.
Well, we need to work out who's going to DM it.
Someone who knows how to would be helpful.
I've done it before.
There we go.
It's not a no. Like Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. So there's a chance.
Right, so is there
There's
And
no
obvious-
initiative.
is
But
there any obvious way of opening said portcullis?
Why would you want to do that? Have you seen what's in there?
Yeah.
we haven't.
XP.
you would recognise the portcullis as being a very standard portcullis and expect there to be a lever. From where you are stood, you cannot see said lever.
Does anyone have mage hand?
No.
So we don't actually know what's in there yet because we're still here.
Yeah, you don't know that.
Does that class as a
No idea.
beast?
Ooh, good question. I don't think it does.
Maybe.
No,
but
it's a
it's
monster
worth a
as
try.
well, I think.
I
if I'm correctly.
think it doesn't, but I will double check that for you.
I'm pretty sure beasts are like pigs and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bears, wolves, that kind of stuff.
I'm
No,
asking
it's an
for hopes.
aberration, is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll go a bit closer and I'll reach my arm in to see if I
we're
can
gonna
feel.
just-
As one of my
There
other
you go.
characters learned, who is now a one-armed archer.
Oh yeah, because it'll go up, won't it? And take my arm off. Yeah, I don't like the idea.
Right, seeing as though you said you're going to do it, but realised before I've responded,
I'm going.
I'm going to ask you to roll dexterity to see if you put your hand in and take it out without finding a lever and pulling it.
Please be a low roll or a high roll.
You want a high roll? You want a high roll?
9,
Oh. What's your dex modifier here?
10.
Oh, I only made it a 10, so you've gone like, ooh.
So if I didn't
and-
have a
and-
dexterity,
Although you can
modifier.
see the beholder's mouth doesn't move, but you hear a voice that seems to come from his direction going, oh, nearly.
Yeah.
Oh, they talk telepathically, I take it. Well, I'm not going to know that, am I? Right.
Is within the circular room, are there any other exits within that room?
There's no obvious exit other than you can see that there is light hitting the floor from a window somewhere above. You wouldn't know, you can't see the window, but somewhere high above a window is letting light in, like a circular window. So if you want to imagine between the 2 points of the star that are closest to you right now, somewhere between there is a circle showing that light that's coming through. So although it's night time, there is a light coming through there.
Is the beholder watching us?
He's facing the
Yeah.
portcullis, but he's not. None of you have heard him say that Oon earlier as well.
Yeah, I suppose I'll walk up to roughly where Sidar is and sort of just knock on the portcullis.
It's pronounced
Sidar.
like the saloon.
So I keep saying Sybil as well. So
Just
You'll get upset about it.
hello?
anyone home?
Hello? Again, you don't see his mouth move and nobody else hears him say that.
Can I throw a rock at one of my magic stones at the beholder in the hopes that it opens the door?
So you're throwing the stone at the beholder.
Yeah, sure. Through the
No.
portcullis.
You
That's
can't-
right.
Do I have any opportunity to react to
I'm
this
gonna
nonsense?
let you respond to hello because, as far as you're aware, he spoke to you telepathically.
Mhm.
So how you respond? You tell me how you want to respond. I'll say if you have time to do it.
Duck.
Ha! Duke!
Like Eldritch
we get
blasts it out to stop him throwing a rock.
So how do you want to respond to that?
Can we get the door open, please?
You can definitely. Are you saying it? Are you thinking it?
I'll just say it.
Okay. You say that before the rock comes.
Yeah.
You don't get a response before the rock comes. Roll to hit.
Apparently I'm throwing a rock.
Now you're stood at the
What do you
portcullis.
mean apparently you decided to
I
do
know.
that?
I know.
No one else made you throw a rock.
Now I assume, given your issues with the portcullis already, you've put your arm through the portcullis to throw this, or are you
No,
throwing
I'm
it-
trying to throw it through a gap.
Okay, so roll with disadvantage to hit. It might hit one of you guys in the face, but it's probably still a better outcome than hitting the beholder.
I've got 20.
You got a 20.
This
I've
is not
got-
going to end well.
No, I maybe
21.
That done.
Right, you hit the beholder.
Square in the eye.
I'm not sure that's good. just gonna throw that out.
Roll damage.
There. What?
4. Oh, it's so not worth that. What are you hoping to get from doing it?
I'm hoping it opens the door so we can attack it properly.
Oh, that's what you think's going to happen.
That's what
In the
I'm hoping
beholder's
is
lair. Just really is
So they go, come on.
and you're
You're
trapped.
And you get a pebble and just go, eh.
So was it 4 or 6?
Oh.
Oh, oh, okay. I've just written a large number on that. Just so you know. Okay.
You
Right.
said you wanted it to be a fun set.
Now, you've thrown a rock at a beholder. Can all of you roll a perception check?
No. I rolled a 2.
Anyone that rolls a 15 or more, in fact 12 or more passes.
Nope.
Roll
None of you.
12.
Okay, you understand that if a beholder wanted to dodge that, he would have dodged that.
All right, okay.
So it's not a beholder.
So if you imagine, I'm trying to think. We're on a Twitch. I can't say what I was going to say. So you know when someone who lives somewhere where there's lots of flies, like a fly hits them in the face or the head, and they just don't react. It's like that just happened to it. Stares at you unblinkingly with all of its eyes now facing you, and goes
Fair enough.
and says, in just your head, "Uh-oh."
Can I apologise?
Roll initiative.
I apologise.
You can roll initiative first.
20.
Right, you got a 20.
14.
18.
18.
I don't react well to that. 6.
You're gonna deserve this.
Doesn't give me a chance to move out of the way.
Oh no, the beholder's dead.
I'll sort that. Anyway, you get to react before anything else happens.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast that door and go fight the hag instead. So is the portcullis still down?
The portcullis is still down. It might have even been something you could have persuaded him to do, but then somebody threw a rock at him.
That's the fun in stealth and persuasion.
I mean,
Where's the fun in death?
How strong is the portcullis?
how do you want me to answer that question?
With it,
Is it something
It's
that
a metal portcullis, and it doesn't look like it's damaged.
Okay, cool. So, duck, Hadouken.
Again, there's people in front of you. They're always in front of you.
14. I said duck first. Hadouken.
So how I imagine Eldritch Blast to work, if you're able for it to knock out a door, I can't see it not having to break down. I can't see it going through a portcullis. Do you see what I mean? Going through the gaps. It's got to be solid to do something.
Yeah, I'm aiming at the door.
That's fine. So you're aiming
Yeah.
at the portcullis. Sorry, I see what you're saying. Okay. So you're attempting to destroy the portcullis.
Yeah.
Those who are in front of you,
is that
there is a gap between them, and they're slightly ready at all times now for a Hadouken, I would suggest. So, depending on your roll, what was your roll?
It was a 14.
Okay, 14 will hit the portcullis. Roll for damage.
A 10.
10. It shakes the portcullis. It does damage it. You can see that weld straining. It doesn't fully break it. It's a raw iron portcullis.
Cool. And then I throw one of my magic ball bearings, which I'm going to have to double check what that costs. Or do you know?
I haven't got it on here if you want. It's a hit with a +3. It's a bonus action.
So, I mean, what do I roll for damage?
Have you already rolled to hit?
Oh no, so I have to roll to hit.
Yeah, you have to roll to
Okay.
hit.
Again, at the door,
And it's +3.
18.
And then it's 1d6 +1.
3.
3. So what was the roll to hit?
18.
18. And can you roll it again? Because it's with disadvantage because you're going through the gaps in the portcullis.
No, I'm aiming for the box.
Oh, sorry, again. You're still just trying to damage the portcullis.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it does the damage enough that it's just one ball bearing.
It's a big ball
It's a
bearing.
magic ball bearing.
Okay. I'm just trying to be like, okay.
What's
goes
the,
through-
What's the description of the
I'm just trying to justify why a ball bearing's not
You
going
touch 1 to 3 pebbles and imbue them with magic. You or someone else can make a ranged, because you can give them to someone else.
So it's magical damage, not
You
the
can make a
damage.
ranged spell attack with one of the pebbles by throwing it or holding it with a sling. If thrown, it has a range of 60 feet. Someone else attacks with the pebble. That attacker adds your spell casting ability to the modifier.
Does
Not
it say
on
what
the
type of damage
attackers.
it causes then?
It's a spell attack.
It's
So it's
just
always
a-
magical damage,
it's
it's gotta be
magic, yeah.
Yeah, but you could send fire or ice or all sorts of other types of damage.
Which is still magical.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
it's
Then in
just-
that case,
it's just damage.
it does enough because I had it at 11, so it does enough that it does weaken the ball. Because that's kind of why I'm trying to have this conversation.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it.
It's or miss it. That stone is no longer
But
magical.
sure, it's magical damage. It breaks the portcullis. However, it doesn't just knock the portcullis over. It creates a hole slightly bigger than the stone. So maybe that big rather than those squares. So you've got a hole that big in the portcullis. The portcullis itself is weakened, but realistically that's what it's going to do. So
Twilight Handshake on I need to 23 feet. Fairly effective. Basically all the bell bearings at once.
anyway,
I've had one DM let it go through.
Forget about that.
well no, he can still try on his turn, but his turn is, unless he's doing any movement, his turn is over.
No, because I moved forward.
You're moving forward.
No, I moved forward.
Oh, I see.
I was
Right.
over here.
Adgron.
I was just taking
You
it
haven't
forward.
yet seen there is a beholder there.
No, because I'm still looking this way in case anything.
You just heard the door slam, seen the bear
There's the
trap reopen.
And then I walked up here cautiously, like looking the opposite way.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come see what they're attacking.
You see a beholder. I wonder why you've rolled so well on initiative.
See the holder and think,
Oh no! I don't want to be here.
He was reacting to me throwing a stone somewhere. He heard the noise.
He heard the wet.
I want to cast.
Of it.
After seeing it, I want to cast resistance on myself.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Go and read out resistance just so everyone knows what's happening.
Touch one willing creature once before the spell ends. The target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one saving throw of its choice. It can roll a die before or after making the saving throw. The spell ends.
Cool. And I think
So
this is where the
touching
beholder was.
yourself.
Yeah,
Is that
because
what
I'm
you're
gonna
saying?
stand there and go,
A beholder.
Been waiting for this moment.
So many eyes.
Guys, have you ever actually faced a beholder?
No.
I've,
you? Oh,
I've
they're
seen
kind
it.
of fun. I didn't think you were going to make him attack you, personally.
Funnily enough, I was jonesing not to.
I was going to say, even I was like, it's not
I
going
was
to
like, what will make them run? Beholder.
You
Every time. Sadal.
Oh,
Fucking nearly kills himself. Then he goes, no, it could be fun this way. Let's kill everyone, not just me.
That's how I play.
It's just a pebble.
In Cthulhu, I melted my arm off because I just put my hand in something.
Okay, right, okay. So, the beholders have things called eye rays.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, and I rolled dice to see which of those eye rays do things.
Oh, that sounds fun. I'm going to die, aren't I?
Probably.
All gonna
I
die.
mean, luckily, I think, wasn't this a practice go, would you say?
This is a practice game.
It's
I've learned a lot about what I need to bear in mind when setting up.
So
Let's
just as a
put that
general thought, if everyone else looks at the beholder and goes, don't chuck shit at it.
So do you want some good news? He can only attack 3 things at once, and there's 4 of you currently in his vision.
Oh, okay.
Right. How it decides on those, it just chooses them. It's going to hit you.
3 times.
It's
because no one else has actually done anything.
Oh no, it can choose 1 to 3, so it could choose all of them on you. And actually, so far, you were nice to him. No one else was bad to him, but you've then broken his door.
I didn't know it was his door.
I mean, you could see him.
I mean, I walk around the corner and touch myself.
Yeah, I think he's going to attack you twice and you once.
I
So
went for
it's
the portcullis thinking I might be able to save him. And
So-
I'm telling him this telepathically.
the first.
I
Yeah,
thought it
but
was
he
Ira.
can understand that
Try.
you're lying. And also, you threw a stone at him. Whereas I was just trying to set him. I was trying to set him free.
Oh, I've got such a low armor class as well. I'm going to die.
Oh my god, I've never used a creature that has legendary actions.
Fuck. That doesn't sound good.
It's not.
Right, one of our campaigns, I faced a gazer, which people called a baby beholder, and it
Yeah.
almost one-shot me.
Yeah.
And all I did was walk near it.
Yeah, I'm not
He
convinced.
got almost one shot by the hang.
He did get shot. Didn't almost. He
Well, yeah.
was down. He basically got bitch slapped
Oh, dear.
by an old lady.
Oh, I rolled the wrong dice. You might be lucky there. So
I need to
3, 6, and 10 are the numbers that I need to write down here.
360 10. No?
I need-
Okay,
I need
so what did I
to-
say? 1 for you, 2 for you.
Yeah.
So 1 for you, 2 for you. Number 3 is the Fear Ray. The targeted creature must succeed on a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw. So let's see if you do first of all. Wisdom saving throw.
Can I reroll?
Unless you have luck.
Do I have luck?
What did you roll?
Well, I rolled a 3,
One
but it
luck
just,
point left, and I'm holding on to it.
I rolled a 6.
That's a fail.
I would like to apologise, guys.
So
I'm sorry.
you are frightened for 1 minute.
No, I was frightened before.
Now you're actually frightened. So
Ooh.
just to give you the details, I'm sure you've all had frightened before. A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight, and you cannot willingly move closer to the source of your fear.
Can I turn round and attack him?
You
Eldritch
can't.
Blast over my shoulder.
Hadouken!
You can, but you have disadvantage on those attack rolls. You can't have double disadvantage.
So turning round would stop the initial disadvantage, but give me an additional disadvantage. So yeah,
You do get at the end of every turn
okay, just,
the
yeah,
opportunity to become unfrightened by it, but at the moment you're
To be like-
frightened.
That's not bad.
It's not that bad.
It's just a beholder.
Okay, you get
We're
2
level
zaps.
one.
So what all you've seen happen there is you've seen one of the ice stalks
I
fire
forgot
off a
one.
beam of light, let's say blue, and it's just zapped.
That's a much better roll. I rolled this 20.
Okay, 6. So you are going to get hit by the next zap you see. Makes your whole field of vision change colour because it's right on your face. The light has hit you, and it's with the telekinetic ray. You must succeed on a strength saving throw. So roll strength.
No.
20.
What?
You've passed.
I didn't do anything. I mean, like I say, I was already scared.
So what you feel happen is it's like someone has tied you up momentarily and you couldn't move, but straight away it's gone again. So you felt like you were restrained, but you're now not. However, as soon as that stops, I rolled a 10. That's the death ray.
Oh.
You need to succeed on a dex saving throw. Oh, wow! Yeah, you need to roll a dex saving throw.
This is only +1.
What have you rolled?
9.
That is not a pass. You take 10d10 necrotic damage.
Even if you roll a 1 on all of them, I'm
Yeah,
dead.
So incredibly high challenge rate.
And the
You see
target
why
dies.
we
if
went
it
throwing
reaches
shit
the
at the
target.
beholder now?
You don't even
And he
need to
doesn't-
roll
he's dead.
Why?
because I've only got 8 hit points left. So even if you rolled 1 on all of them.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I technically need to roll, but actually, no, I don't. You're like, if it was a game, you are permadead. Is what
Yeah.
you are. Because it's
Oh.
more than double your max hit points.
Potentially.
Isn't that what the death ray does anyway? Just kills you if it reduces you to 0 hit points.
It just says the target dies if the ray reduces to 0 hit points. It doesn't say any other more than it would normally. But I suppose usually it takes you to unconscious, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It takes you to
I see what
unconsciousness.
you're saying. Then you do death saves to see if you die
Yeah.
or not. So yeah,
So if the damage would be
enough to kill you, you're dead.
if you'd be reduced to more than basically negative the total of your hit points, if you're reduced past that, it's insta death. But because it's the death ray reduces you to less than 0, you're just dead.
So if that was in a real
is
game and
less
that really
than
happened,
0.
your character is vaporized.
Interesting. Right. Cool.
So
Glad we
that's why
cleared
you
that
don't
up.
throw stones at the holders.
Yep. So we
And
learned
that
that.
is actually the first character I've ever killed as a DM. I've always managed to somehow fudge that shit, and you've literally done everything you shouldn't do in the last 2 minutes.
We live and learn. Or not live and
No,
learn.
you don't, because you're dead.
But I don't think if that was a real game, I could have done anything different. 'Cause I feel like everything was reasonably, like if that's what you did, that's what would happen.
No.
So I'm not going to not do that.
That's
I want
totally
you to
fair.
know you
Yeah,
die when
yeah.
that shit happens.
No,
Lessons were learned.
I take the blame entirely.
Okay, I mean the beholder's still here, and you're all still in initiative. So where to go?
I'd like to
Enough.
look at the beholder and say, you know what? Never liked that guy anyway. Name's
Are you
Whitaker.
saying this out loud? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. He chuckles in your ear. Again, you don't know if everyone else hears you. They don't hear it.
I've not drawn my sword. I'm just sort of gonna. I reckon my best chance is just sort of to colloquially lean against the wall and go, "Whew, straight to dust, eh? Impressive."
Yeah, more where that came from.
Is he gone northern, this beholder?
I think he was all the way through. Like, it's quite like he sounds a bit dim and a bit funny, but yeah.
You're saying northern people are dim and...
I'm northern. I'm allowed to say that.
Are you? I'm Welsh, I can't see certain things.
I mean, you can, but we're on a stream. Yeah. Children might be watching.
Interesting fact, children.
So, yeah, again, just in your head, you hear that.
And then I'm gonna start backing away.
Okay. Doesn't seem to react to that, and he doesn't say anything else to you as you do that. So where do you going to use all your movement?
Yeah, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Just take
You
you
get
out.
to round the corner.
I'm not be throwing fireballs at you, mate, but Jesus.
Okay. Back up to the top. Castiel,
Ah,
who fell over.
Oh, do I still have my action, or was that taken sort of conversion?
I'm happy. Depending on what your action is. What
Dash.
Dash. Yeah, you can dash.
When you
Yes.
see something that looks incredible.
Can you roll a perception check, please?
No. Ah, luck.
Probably a good time.
Still
Nine.
no.
Still
9. Okay. It seems odd to you that the bear trap is set. Now roll a dex check. I'm going to say you're dashing, reasonably scared. I'm going to let you have advantage because you're not actually under the frightened condition. But basically just making sure you don't accidentally step on the bear trap whilst you're springing across. Yeah, that's fine. That's reasonable. Cool.
That's where I get to.
Great. Now you're up. Castiel, what do you do?
Seeing your friend die in front of you.
We've only just met, to be fair.
What be terrifying.
Not necessarily.
Well, true.
I was just trying to let you out, so I'm going to go now. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Can you roll a charisma saving throw?
I can.
Because you're frightened. And how you say this might change the outcome.
No. 10.
Okay.
No. 12.
You managed to hold it together.
Okay. I am now going to take my action and I'm going to Eldritch Blast the door.
Okay.
Duck.
Okay.
Sorry, Alex.
Don't
Don't
roll a 1 now.
18 plus 3 is 21. And then damage. 2.
You've assumed you've hit the door. That might be a mistake.
It's a little bit limp.
I definitely hit the door. I just
No,
didn't
no,
hit
no,
it
no,
very
no,
well.
no. Just wait.
Oh.
You actually hit a hag
Oh, bollocks.
who's now not invisible, who was stood in front of the door. Could you put the hag in front of the door, please, somebody? She's not sitting. She's stood there. And it's like, imagine,
Have a chair with her.
you
I
know,
think it's creepy if she sat down.
you know on the Matrix when they have deja vu and there's that flickering,
Mm.
like that happens. It's like flickers into a strobe light effect. Wasn't there? Is there? Isn't? Then is there? Solid from the damage. How much damage was it?
2.
2. About that.
I also, as my bonus action, throw my little stone, a little pebble in the face.
hard the beholder is?
Stop cheating.
Sorry. Did you just see the beholder number and went? Yeah.
I mean, you're dead. It's fine.
I know. I'm happy to show everyone. That's the beholder's number at the top. The 4 damage has happened as well.
So I rolled an 18.
For the stone. So that's
For
the
the-
second of your 3 stones you throw.
Yeah.
18 hits.
And
And you all know by now the
Five.
highest AC is 17. 5 damage.
You did, but I forgot until you just said then. That's
Yeah.
why I was waiting for the day. I was like, did I
I don't know why I've still got that still open.
Can I use my celestial power to bring Sid Dale back from the dead?
I mean, you've used your action
If
and the
no,
bonus.
No, not
Oh,
actually.
right.
I'm just
So
joking.
you can bring people back from the dead in D&D, but you do need the body, and the body is now dust.
And when they're permadead, you can't.
You can from permadeath with like revivify.
Oh, yeah.
Revivify.
But then it's like a temporary thing, not a permanent thing.
It has a chance of not working, but it is permanent. But you do need the body.
Does it ask for a certain amount of time?
I'm not entirely
I thought
sure.
it was
Worth
like
looking at.
a day or some number of days or something.
Um,
I might be wrong. But anyway, no one's
if
got
you
that.
pass
We'll
me the
look at it.
PHP, I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Answers on the back of the postcard to the Geek Bar Harrogate. 7 Battle Road, Harrogate, HT1 1BB.
Also, that's what you put in your sat nav to come and see us.
Well,
But not yet.
Cool. Next
Possibly Saturday.
up is Agron. How do you
Right,
respond to everything you've just seen? As someone who literally just gone, oh, I heard a sound, come here. Oh, heard a sound, come here. And each time, just everything's gone.
So with
And he's just an artificer, he's just a little tinker man.
Can I use that to come back to life?
Oh, you could have re-rolled through, but nothing really gave
There was nothing to re-roll.
No, there wasn't.
No.
The throwing the stone.
with revivify, it has to be within the minute of death, but it can't replace body parts. So once again, dust. Not
Now, 1 second, I've described it as that, but actually I don't think it does turn you to dust. It doesn't say it reduces you to dust, so keep your body there. If someone has got that spell, they
That's third level, so that'll be
We don't.
Let's see how quickly we get there.
Yes. Where are we on XP right now?
Sadly, you need a long rest for that tonight.
I'm
And
gonna
that'll
have to
take
nap.
longer
I'm
than
just
a
gonna lay
minute.
down in
Yeah.
the middle of the room and go to sleep.
Cool. So you've angered a hag and a beholder, and now you're trapped between them.
I'm just gonna go.
So I'm sorry. What does?
I'm gonna sheepishly say, don't fix your gate fear.
And he chuckles in your head. You just say. So you've had cackling filling your head, and now you just go.
Is that a no?
It doesn't answer the question.
I'll take that as a no and I'll
Okay.
just walk away.
Go hit the nag, the hag.
The nag.
Been practiced too many times.
I mean, that's not funny.
Charlie's not watching you.
Okay, where was I? Five,
She's got no interest.
15, 20, 25, yeah. So I'm gonna come down here and see this hag.
It's with everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast a spell.
Invulnerability greater.
Great vulnerability. I'm just gonna cast that. I'm gonna cast Tasha's Caustic Brew.
You're gonna throw acid at the witch.
with me stood next to her.
I'm going directly in the sight, yeah?
Try pushing her into the bear trap. See what happens.
I can't get close enough.
Get over here! We've had to do it, couldn't we?
Ooh.
So yeah, it's
Wait.
a stream of acid emits from you in a line of 30 feet and 5 feet wide in a direction of your choice. So directly towards her.
Just miss.
Does it hit or something? You'll have to roll to hit.
Um,
You'll have to roll to hit.
10 to roll for those.
With AoE, it's usually a saving throw.
I've never really used spells.
Oh yeah, it's a direct line of 5 feet. Yeah. Okay. What's the saving throw?
It's a dex saving throw of 13.
Alright, okay.
So he has to roll.
Doesn't pass, so gets hit. What's the damage?
Acid in the face. It's a
2
million.
d4 acid damage.
2d4.
2d20 acid damage.
That's still not too
Even then, it wouldn't kill him.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
What?
That's a hag. Hags are massively harder than I thought, and I've reduced this. I halved
Four
it, and
and
4.
no, 8.
that's good.
I like that dice.
Oh no, wait, is it? Creature covered in acid takes 2d4 acid damage at the start of its turn. So it's when it's the hag's turn it can take damage, not
So it's 8 in total at the start of its turn.
Yeah.
Guess whose turn is next?
the hag.
Is it hacks?
I don't know how.
Oh no, that's,
Does it
I'm just going to put it alongside with the holder because
Does
it's
it
there
have
the whole
more
time. I
damage?
didn't want to put it on the thing. So say
Does
again.
it keep getting damage from acid? You know, poison and stuff.
Probably.
It probably does have to spat on it.
There'll
Yeah,
be
it
a
does.
condition to rid itself of acid, but it'll be in the spell.
it's concentration of up to 1 minute.
And that's for you to drop
Yeah.
it.
And the
But actually, yeah, concentration of acid doesn't make sense.
Can I have a look?
Is it because it's touch? Is it magic acid or something?
but it comes out
This
of
is magic acid.
because
It only burns when you want it to burn.
Ices
Only
don't
at the
actually-
start.
It's an action to remove the acid.
Oh, and what? He just goes with dubs. I'll just.
Sorry.
Just get some blue rolls.
Makes it
So does he have to re-roll the damage at the start of every turn, or do we use just the same damage at the start of every turn?
It's 2d4, so it'll be re-rolling the damage at the start.
So I just roll 2d4 each time at the start of.
Yeah, or it can spend an action to get rid of the acid.
Oh,
without
that's,
having to-
they can.
Yeah.
So you do it yourself. Just wipe it off.
Yeah, so it's wipe or scrape it away.
Cool.
And as Ices don't actually use magic, they use like mechanical things they've created.
Okay, so this
So
is
just
like from a
like
vial or
It's
something.
like a little thing where it's just shoots
Spider
out.
web.
Yeah,
Spider-Man again.
I don't know how else to think of it.
It's fine.
You know, just open up my jacket, Iron Man it.
Little flower.
I like that. He's got the little squeezy pocket.
I mean, I do, like,
And on my sleeve, you can just keep pulling tissues.
Original Batman.
I do have a coffee cup now. It could be in there, just like.
It just refills itself through a pipe that's down.
Yeah.
down his
You
sleeve.
conveniently just had the coffee cup with you the entire time when you were pissing about with that bucket.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have burned from the heat. Cool.
I like coffee.
Right. So, Hag's turn. No, and the Beholder's turn.
What the hell? We can't see him anymore, he doesn't exist.
You all hear a loud clang at the sound of iron behind you, but see nothing because none of you can see.
Bonus, we can't see it. It can't see us.
Well, no, we're all facing this way. So it could be here.
I like to live in hope, JF.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Oh shit.
I mean, the rays have really long, like I think it's 120 feet on a lot of the rays.
Yeah, but it's line of sight.
Yeah. I didn't say where he was yet.
No, I know, that's why I was roughly trying to work out
One of them
where he
allows him to move like 30 feet again as well.
Yeah, that's why I kind of.
Yeah, anyway. Next up is the hag, who's just taken the damage.
From him, just taking damage from him.
From him. This time.
I did something.
And an Eldritch Blast from him.
Oh, yeah, there was an Eldritch Blast there.
Just FYI.
She knows and was surprised at how powerful her claws were earlier, and goes at you with the claws.
He didn't do anything, but he stood. And he's a.
He is in the way.
I'll tell you what I'm going to
He's
do.
the best.
I'm going to roll a d6. If it is a 1 to a 3, it's going to be Castiel on a 1 to a 3. It's going to be Wetico on a 4, and a 5 or a 6 is going to be Abgron, because Wetico hasn't done any damage to it at this point, so... It's a 4, of course it's a 4. The claws are out as well. I already said what it's going to do. She knows the weakness. She knows the kryptonite.
I killed him once.
That guy's easy. Sort him out and then he's done. I could have done that more fairly as well. Anyway, cool. So the claws.
Dice.
The claw.
What do I need to hit?
15.
You're all right.
Oh!
However, you have
Thank
stepped back
you.
into the bear trap
Thank you,
to release
Knuckles.
the owlbear.
Oh, the owlbear. It is a magical owlbear.
Can I set off the bear trap and drop an owlbear on our head?
It is Wetico's turn.
So, the door, it's still off its hinges, right? It's just been replaced? Or...
It's
You
just
try
been
and run
magically
around the
replaced. So there's a loud noise, and the door was magically back where it was. You can't tell from there with the hag there and other things going on whether that is locked or just propped, whether it's sealed.
Never faced a hag.
Joe, I've learned a hag is much stronger than I thought it was.
So what I would like to do is move round the hag, take the disengage action and try to go through the door.
And you're trying to barge the door.
Sure. Oh, just trying to get through.
I see what you're doing. You're trying to avoid it, right? I'm happy to go along with this. We've been quite specific about things like hinges and things like that. And if you look where the hinges are, they don't work in your favour side. And actually, I realised from that side you wouldn't know that. But from this side, it's really clear the hinges are to the side you're now having to barge to avoid it.
Mhm.
So you can barge with disadvantage, and you're looking for a 16 or a 17 to manage to barge a door. There's nothing magical keeping the door closed, it's just fixed. So it's just the door that's there.
12.
You've just, basically, you know when it's funny when like you see on a police program and a policeman goes to really barge a door and it just doesn't go. That's what's happened.
I suppose I'm at least in the doorway.
But you'll need to be the other side of the hag to avoid her because of where she was.
Oh no, I like moved into... That was the disengage action, so I can move through her.
Oh, I see. Roll again without any advantage. You go for 15.
15.
Fine, the door opens.
Hey!
It wasn't locked, but it was just on its catch, and you didn't have time the way you were doing it to push the handle. You managed to just nudge the lock mechanism in it. Open for you. The door's open, you've fallen through it 10 feet. From the force you've taken to do it.
So
10
then,
feet. Yeah.
there.
Another one, diagonally that way, yeah.
Cool. That's fine by me.
Cool. The door is open. You've done your action, you've done your movement.
That's everything, yeah.
Cast it out.
Don't leave me here alone.
I'm not going to leave you. I'm going to make it really interesting. I'm going to jam my staff into the bear trap as hard as possible.
So this staff, is it a magical staff?
No, it's just a...
There
Just
is
a piece
still
of wood.
a metal rod.
Well, it's... All right,
That's a
is that metal rod still there?
fork still on the floor.
It's still on the floor, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll pick that up then and ram that in.
It's still half over the bear trap, it's just not on where the weight of it is. What are you rolling? What are you rolling here? What did
Nope.
you roll?
Didn't-
What did you roll?
I changed my mind. Oh,
What did you roll? Was it a nat one? Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, okay.
Who?
Right, okay. Oh, wow. What's the best way to do this? Roll a dex save with disadvantage. You didn't realise that you were standing on the bear trap when you did it.
14. Wait,
Roll.
no. Yes. Maybe. Yeah, 14.
Roll a d6. And the number is, I can't see it. What was the number?
So 5.
Take 5 damage.
Damn.
Not the owl bear. That's the bear trap closing. You move your foot off it, but the claw's catching your foot and damaging it.
Okay.
You obviously rushed. through.
Have I set the bear trap off?
You haven't yet heard the clink because you're doing this all in quite a short space of time. You've done that. Are you doing anything else? You hear the chain go.
I'll chuck my last magic stone at the witch, at the hag, sorry, just quickly.
Is that a bonus action to do that? So last one, what'd you roll?
12.
Missed. In fact, roll a dex check. The door's wide open.
Yay. 6.
I'm going to say you've got your back to him, so that's reasonable that you probably failed that. Just take 1d4. There's a stone hit you in the back of the head. You forgot to shout duck.
Because I wasn't doing anything.
Is that the rule from now on? If we
At
don't
the
yell,
moment, if he's going to do it a lot, we're going to have to put something in place. It can only miss you so many times, like within reason. Especially when you're not doing anything to avoid it. Because
This is where he spends the rest of his whole career just crouched.
no, everything he does is a held action until after you've acted, and then he does it. Okay, and with a thud, the burnt carcass of an owlbear lands on the floor.
Oh. That's not what I was hoping for. Anyone fancy chicken? KFC.
It does hit the hag.
Careful.
Cool. It hit the hag. Agron, what are you doing?
Stuck now, I can't get out.
Yeah, I'm really small. There's a lot of things in my way.
The owlbear is a carcass, not taking up that much. You could climb over that quite easily. However, there is a hag in the door.
Yeah. Can I sneak around behind the owlbear carcass, see if I can get past without being seen?
It's not as high as it looks being there because it's a carcass. The feathers were very flammable. It's quite
so
skinny.
It's just like
It's like that tall.
alright, so
There
it's
might
like,
be the odd rib that's a bit higher, but most things are just flat.
yeah, so I'm not gonna get.
It's not really anything to hide behind either. It's just a hollow carcass.
Okay.
That's not good.
You can do what Wetigo did and use your disengage action. So you don't have to do anything else, but you could get past her without invoking an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
Okay. I guess you can also use. And you can't use your dash, so you just get your normal movement in total.
So I literally just get into the doorway.
Okay.
So I can only move 25 feet.
I think you get one more square personally, because you can just go straight over the owlbear, so you need to go around everything. Yep. Beholder.
You guys
I
really have to
think
take
actually, it would have been a good idea for us to shut the
Sorry
door
about
behind me.
quite sad line, to be fair.
I'll leave the door open.
Who's there? Okay.
Now that no one's looking, I'm going to expose my wings.
You might want to wait until this is described. Cassiel, roll a perception check.
Oh, fudge.
I'll give you that one.
Thank you. What was it? What did you actually roll?
Lost it, throw the stone.
What did you roll?
I'm just working it out now.
Oh, I guess the stream stopped.
No, just the telly's turned back.
Perception. Plus 3 and 9.
It's reasonably clear what's happening. You would have basically had to roll a 1 to 5 to miss it. Directly above you, in the open chute that the owlbear came from, is a huge eye.
So again,
Oh, it's a D10.
oh, right. Yeah, I'm thinking about
Oh, wow. The good news is no death ray happens.
That's the
I have to
good news.
re-roll the 1
only the disintegration rate.
Not like it matters if all of them deal like
1, 2, and 7. So, Charm Ray. Targeted creature must succeed in a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw. So, roll a Wisdom saving throw. What was that? A 1. Yeah, that's failed. Let's just do the other ones first. You're charmed currently by the beholder. And just so you're aware, just in case you need to know, a charmed creature can't attack the charmer or target the charmer with a harmful ability or magical effect.
Wasn't gonna.
The charmer has advantage on any ability check to interact socially with the creature.
And
Okay.
you just dreamy.
Look at his
Next
eye.
is the paralysing ray. The targeted creature must succeed on DC 16 Constitution saving throw or be paralysed for. So you're paralysed and charmed. Okay, paralysed. Paralysed creatures incapacitated and can't move or speak. You automatically fail strength and dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. Any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature.
Fuck. I think
Okay.
you're enjoying this way too much.
Because it's a free hit, I've been able to go. I did not expect you to fight the beholder, and I have to do it as if you've actually tried to enter the lair. And he's not only seen someone; it's one of the ones that he feels was being hostile towards him. So he's
I
gone.
apologise.
Yeah, of course you did when you saw him vaporise your mate. and he just used the frightening ray as well recently.
I'm sorry.
And lastly, might be a saviour for you, the sleep ray. The targeted creature must succeed on a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw or fall asleep.
Nope.
So you're not asleep, can't move, and suggested
Paralysed,
somehow.
charmed, and asleep. I am having some weird fucking dreams.
He's just frozen in place, a big old grin.
Next to go is the hag that's facing you.
But I'm asleep.
Yeah, but the hag's to go next because that was the beholder and that's the hag.
But I'm asleep.
The hag doesn't like you. You've attacked the hag. You've been throwing
I
stones.
threw a pebble. That was it.
You can't like talk her out of it. You're sleeping.
Yeah,
And paralysed
I'm
and charmed.
Yeah, she just wouldn't attack me. She attacked the two people behind her that just ran past her. I am no threat.
Roll
This
a
is not.
D4 and anything other than a 1 means you don't snore. I gave you the chance. You tried to talk your way out of it. You had every opportunity. The dice spoke. Claws. And it's is it an instant hit? Sorry, paralysed. Attack rolls which can have advantage. 13
But it
plus
is a
7 is
crit.
20, and it's a crit.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's already 4d8, was it, or something? Or 2d8. So it's 4d8.
Just took the damage.
It's
I
four-
just died.
It's 4 times 3, so 12.
What?
12 damage.
What was your hit?
It hit
How do you know it hit?
because I rolled a 13 and it's plus 7.
Am I not a hit?
It hit. I didn't even roll the advantage
While
that
I'm
I got.
asleep,
I hold my shield and I
Roll over a massive.
I am in a quilt of owlbear.
Does a 12 kill you
Um,
at level 1? That odds are high.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. So he's also asleep and unconscious.
I'm dead. Just
No,
dead.
1 second.
All the way dead. 12.
No, technically just unconscious.
Yeah? Oh, because it wasn't the whole.
Does being knocked unconscious stop charmed, paralysed, and sleeping?
Or what's all awake but unconscious? I don't think it matters.
No, I'm on about saving throws and things now because there are effects that they might.
I don't know off the top.
Anyway, let's see if we get that far. Right, what is Wetco doing at this point?
It will say on the.
Could you just put the hag standing over you, please? Clawing at you.
It will say in the individual
Silly face.
ability descriptions what will actually end the effect. So if you just look at like frightened or charmed.
Well, paralyses only if he passes a Constitution saving throw.
So he's definitely still paralysed.
Okay, sleeping. Target awakens if it takes damage,
Yeah,
so
so
he's awake.
but unconscious.
Unconscious. Yeah. And what was the
Just
other one?
another word for
Charmed.
asleep, isn't
He's
it?
still charmed. Or until the beholder harms the creature. So he's still charmed,
Yeah.
still paralysed, and unconscious but not asleep. I'd like you to work that one out. Unconscious but not asleep.
Eyes are closed, mouth is shut, but just.
Ow!
Wetco, what are you doing?
Running!
Just running, just leaving.
Run away!
Dash!
From beyond the grave, I will
5,
send my apologies.
15, 20, 30, dash. 5, 10. And then I'm just going to hit the door.
Hoping that it's not been mended.
Yeah, hoping.
The door falls.
Oh, good. 20, 25, 30.
Cool.
Away.
Right. Next up is roll a saving throw, please.
Me?
Yes,
Why am I involved?
because you're dead nearly. Castiel, what'd you roll?
What kind of saving throw?
A death saving throw.
What's a 10? Do I get something to 10 to a 10?
10's pass. 10 is the minimum you need.
Yeah, so a 10 or higher is a success, anything lower is a fail.
Yeah.
Three successes stabilises you.
But a
Three-
crit fail or a crit pass is 2 of those.
Yeah.
Three failures kills you.
Why did you throw a rock at the beholder? It was
Actually,
never meant to happen.
I think a critical success
it'd
on
be
a
fun.
death saving throw reverts you to 1 hit point.
Only now, if that gets you to 3.
I think so, but
yeah, but
if you do
not
get
if it's your first one. It's just
it's
two
just
passes.
2. But if you get the crit success, you actually
Just so that the room's correct, could you pop the beholder as close to where the owlbear is as possible, facing?
So,
So more towards the
Do you
door.
want to use
I
one
think
of
when
the
we play
flight
properly,
stands?
I won't do things like that.
Might be a good idea
Yeah.
because that is literally almost a TPK.
That's the
out
point
there.
of this
That's why the
practice
session. You need to learn where the limits are and how realistic things are. And I feel like I've limited some things happening, but I can't stop things like that.
But that's, you know, you deserve what's happening.
Yeah, I even gave you a turn to get away, and things didn't really go to plan with the hag. And
Yeah. It's got those moments when your friend just steps across the line and you're being
yeah.
Yes. Sorry, dude, but you deserve it.
Okay, so Adgren.
I'm also going to run.
They don't go very fast, those things, do they?
No.
Diagonally. Go diagonally first. Go
Yeah.
diagonally first. You keep making yourself take an extra square.
Don't know.
1, yeah, and then again 2, yeah,
2, 3, 4,
5.
5. That's 25.
That's 25. You dash in. The door is wide open, remember. It's off its hinges. You've it's just
Yeah.
been knocked open. So you go another
Can
5
I
squares.
dash and shout at the same time?
You can shout while you're running, yeah.
Yeah, I think you.
What are you shouting?
I'm shouting, let's pick this door up.
Sounds reasonable.
No, I'm going to get to that. So
What,
we can...
like, wedge you back in?
So you shouted that while you were
put
still
his-
in the room.
You've
No,
knocked
as I was
his,
getting towards, like, as soon as I started seeing him.
you've knocked his.
Can
gate
you just
down.
roll perception and anything above an 8, you hear it because there's biting cold and wind outside.
No.
You don't hear it, so you just run it. You both
At
run
this
it.
point, we've broken his door. We've broken several of his doors. We broke his gate. We've killed his mimic, and we've pissed his hag off. I'm just running,
And this bugbear,
and we killed his bugbear.
Sorry, you guys killed this bugbear, right?
Beholder's turn.
Oh no, I blew his head off.
Yeah.
No, I did kill his
You-
bugbear.
Beholder's turn.
It's still you.
It was still me.
You did the actual death.
Oh wow, I could have been more deadly with the beholder as well. I just realised.
Well,
More deadly than death.
Yeah, yeah, because he also can per turn use a legendary action. I haven't used any legendary actions.
Did he need to though?
No, I feel like he's done everything he would do.
I
Um,
don't think he's that bothered about the level 1
no.
adventurers. It's just like, I'll kill them at my leisure.
He's going to follow us slowly.
He sees you unconscious and thinks, you can have him. Says that to the hag. Doesn't bother to do that telepathically. You're unconscious, so you wouldn't hear it, I suppose. And he just floats 30 feet towards his office. Oh, 20 feet, sorry. He's a slow hoverer. He'll dash, do 40. Yeah. Hag time. She heard you snore. She knows you weren't dead, but now you are unconscious. But he's let.
He didn't
have
give me
it.
snow again.
No, I'm just talking it out so you can understand what's going on. So you're not
Just
snoring
telling you
anymore
why
because
you-
you're not sleeping anymore, but you are unconscious. Your wings are out because you're about to try and fly away. She's going to grab hold of one of your wings and start, in fact, both of your wings, and start to drag you through that door. She's going to roll a strength check, which is quite high. Ooh,
Because
they're
he's too
strong. Hags are fucking vicious. 21 is reasonable. You end up in the corner with the rotting
has it or has it not
bedding,
been full?
clothes and stuff. Roll a saving throw.
20.
Really?
No, 3.
Oh, you are back alive with 1 hit point if you roll a 20 then.
No.
But you're not. That's a fail. Cool, so 1 pass, 1 fail. I assume you guys are now running, and what are you doing if he doesn't hear you? Are you going to carry on trying to do the door on your
I'm
own?
going to shout him again whilst trying to grab the door.
Okay, you're right next to him this time, unless because you're running together.
Okay. Leave the fucking door!
You can mend it on.
Just
You're just
keep
running.
running.
But
Are you gonna stay?
They've got the keys, so they can open their door.
That's not going to help you
I
mending
didn't
it.
see any keys anyway.
So you're going to stay and mend the door.
You're going to try to prop it up and mend it.
Okay, fine. So
TP.
roll a strength. Roll.
I'm
Sorry, Tom. So you really? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Roll a strength check.
It's my favourite
12
thing.
or
that-
higher.
19.
Yep. You get the door back up.
My favourite thing
And
is
he's
DM
mending a
saying,
cantrip.
are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah,
It's like, no,
door's
don't,
mended.
not anymore. Now you've asked me that.
That's the end of
Well,
it.
I think it takes about a minute.
Everyone else
Takes
is
a
like,
minute.
yes. I'm like,
It
no.
takes a minute. 10 rounds of combat is a minute. Just so you know that.
I do know.
So you want to
Pretty sure-
mend it.
Pretty sure mending is a minute.
You want to mend it. You want to stand there for a full minute whilst this is going on. Well, so you guys 10 times 30, 10 times 60 feet away.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine, I mean.
Wow.
So 600 feet away, you're like, oh.
Are you going to give up mending it if something comes through the door?
Oh yeah, obviously.
Okay, cool. Right. Okay, let's
As soon
just
as something comes through the
we'll
door,
just go back to what we're doing because everyone else is pretty clear with what they're doing. Dead, running, trying to save his own life.
Yeah.
Mending the door. So, just to highlight what's going on here. Cool.
Dead.
Maybe if
Dying.
I fix the door, it won't
Running.
kill me.
Fix the door.
I'm sorry! I'll fix it!
Okay. In fact, do you know what? Have the inspiration for that one, please. That's fine. Okay. Hag's turn.
What?
She's fiddling around with something.
She just had a turn, didn't she?
Yeah, and then you had a turn. And then they had a turn. You had a turn. The beholder's gone. He's not in there anymore. Yeah? Wedge goes now, run away. He's mending the door. You've just done your saving throw, mending the door. Hag does a thing, and then you get your saving throw after
I'm
Hag.
trying
Okay?
to lock
She's fiddling with something. You can't feel it. You're unconscious. So you don't know what she's doing.
She's feeling with something.
Well, it depends when you come round as to what state you might be in.
Oh dear.
Yeah, roll a saving throw. She's not attacking you at this point.
For fuck's sake.
What do you
What's
roll?
wrong with this
What do you
dice?
roll? Was it a 1?
It's a 5.
Okay. So that's another fail. So that's 2 fails, 1
Swapping
pass. Hag continues. It's going to take her some time to do what she's
Do you
doing.
get anything added to it?
No.
Basically, you're going to roll out now because it takes the Hag some time to do what she's trying to do.
Yeah.
So you can keep rolling your saves and your passes.
Season you. That's what's happening.
Okay. What? So
You're just doing so. He's bending the door. It's a minute. It's going to take you to do it. So you're just rolling now. So you need a save to get it to 2-2. A fail kills you. Permadeath.
Oh,
And I'm dead.
Dead. She basically is going to bind you and dunk you in the well as a dead body. So you'll be in the well.
I won't fit. My wings are out.
You'll be tied up and bound.
But
She's
there's
had
no
loads of time because you're dead and can't stop her.
No, I'm guessing that gives me enough time to mend the door and run off.
For her to do that, yes. I mean, if I'm honest with you, you can stay after you've mended the door as long as you like because no one gives a shit. I mean, within reason. If you're there more than a day, someone might
come out and just go.
well, he's still we're giving up on that. You didn't actually do anything. We weren't even cross.
No, I just did
Wait,
things all the way along.
Wait, have you got my rod?
No.
And the rod's over here.
Cool. You've mended the door.
He did steal his stuff though. The thing,
Yeah, broke
the
his,
tiara. Who has
feel
the
like
I
tiara?
have the tiara.
Oh, I have the tiara and the earrings, so they're over there.
They're
somewhere.
just there, left in the vaporized space.
So what?
I had a vial of acid that
So I need to
turned
remove
into a
those.
mimic.
And,
Oh, he's got
Killed the
blood.
mimic. Oh, he killed the mimic.
I didn't kill them.
Anyway,
I didn't hit
So,
them.
what do you do when you've mended the door?
Run off.
Cool. You're just following the tracks in the snow. I
Yes.
guess. Follow what's again.
Yep.
Cool. Well, only 2 of you died.
Yeah, only.
I'll tell you though, just so you're aware, the XP you would have got was pretty good if you'd have got away from that. Especially if you got the gold as well. So the hag's
Where was
700 XP just on its own. The beholder is 10,000 XP. Right? This is what it was a do not attack this thing moment. There is going to be those in a game of D&D. Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, I wanted to get in the room. I didn't want to
The
fight
mimic's a
thing.
reasonable amount as well, to be fair. The mimic is
The dog
450 XP.
I presume I don't get that though. 'cause I'm
No. These two didn't pass but didn't die. It probably put an argument for maybe half of the XP, but not the 10,000 because you didn't really do anything to get past. You didn't get the gold. The hag though you did encounter, so you get maybe half XP, and the XP for the mimic is what you get. And as
I
long
killed
as,
a bugbear.
did you? An
You
owl
did.
bear.
Yeah, some kind
Owl
of
bear, yeah, owl bear's true.
I was alive while the other things were getting killed. Does that
Yeah, you
count?
would have done if you
Okay,
then had a
so
long
yeah,
rest and
yeah,
you covered for
yeah,
that long
yeah.
rest, you would have
Yeah,
got those things.
you're the one killing everything. No wonder you die.
Yeah, but that means you don't get anything either, I'm afraid. You just said it's only if we have a long rest.
You had to have the long rest to get your stuff, yeah.
I had a very long rest
Yeah,
over here.
you just didn't recover from the long rest. You have to wake up
I
from it.
rolled a 1 again.
Really? That's a good time. Do you know what would actually have happened, by the way? I was
I'm
going to
gonna
do one
melt.
more thing. You could have encountered the ooze, which I really wanted you to encounter, but
Where was the
that would be on
ooze?
your way back. That's what. You what?
Where was that then?
It would have been in that room you were about to come back into. In fact, there's another room off the corridor, but you didn't investigate anywhere near the stairs or anything like that.
Kind of saw the beholder in there.
Threw stones at it.
That was meant to happen,
Yeah.
but I was hoping you'd investigate enough to find some of the secret like lairs and things like that. But And also,
we
if-
just ran in.
if
Killed,
you'd
killed,
have, if
not
you'd have
dead. Killed, not dead.
you had the potential
Shit.
for getting access to the beholder's stash, which was where the gold was, which is the whole reason you were going there. But you just
You
straight
got
away
it,
ruined
was
that.
fun.
I tried.
No, I'm not saying you didn't, but that was how you won. The
Right,
XP
so-
for the owlbear was 700.
Can we start that again?
So basically, if there's anything that I did then that you didn't like or you don't like or
Killing me, I didn't like that.
cool,
In fact, I specifically
Are we-
said
You
that
could have
one
given me
of
the opportunity to change my mind about throwing the rock.
I definitely did that.
Are we doing XP advancement or is it milestone advancement?
It's actually quite clear XP, I think,
Okay. Are we actually
because
getting
I'm
any
going
XP
to
for that?
not for actually that session.
Cool, that's fine then.
As far as the source book goes, it's quite clear in its XP, and obviously you need to level up to a reasonable point for certain things that will happen at different stages.
So if we killed something quite big,
Yep.
and then have a long rest,
you wake
in the
up
same
and you are
session.
leveled up. Yep.
we'd be
Yeah.
level
What I will
session.
say to you
To
now.
be clear, I probably wouldn't have done that in a real game.
Yeah. No, I get that. But what I want you all to be aware of is this game.
Actually, no, I probably would have done
This game is deadly. Like it's a horror. You can die.
that.
I'm not gonna. I will make it fun, but if it's not deadly, there's no
Point,
risk.
yeah,
Yeah, there has to be a risk of dying. So I'm not going to be ridiculous about it. If you make good decisions and the dice are bad, I might be able to make it work. But you made bad decisions as well. But weren't as bad. You had a chance of being okay.
I feel like
You're
this is aimed
failed
at me.
for yourself. No, it's not aimed at anyone. It's not aimed at anyone because anyone could have done that. The point I'm getting at is it's all about enjoying it at the end of the day. It will always be possible to complete the story if you don't make lots of stupid decisions. The odd stupid decision here and there isn't going to kill you. As long as it's
Can I
not
just make
throwing a
something
rock
clear?
at a beholder type decision.
You're saying don't make stupid decisions to the man that opened the bar 3 days before COVID locked down the country.
No, I'm saying don't make too many stupid decisions.
Okay.
You will, in any D&D game where the DM is worth spending time with, have a moment where you can, if you've made a really stupid decision, unmake that decision. If you then choose to plough on, you deserve the consequences. It's basically my stance on it.
Fair play.
It's
What
all
I'm
I
saying
say.
is you deserve to be killed because you threw a rock. at
You
me.
Because
definitely
you're
do.
It's like, as you did it, all three of us went, no. He's not with us. He's not with us.
That's
To
what
be
we should
fair,
have
I was conflicted as to whether it would attack you, but it could. He had no way of knowing what you were doing was good or bad for him,
Yeah.
and you were the only one there, and you were attacking the hag. That's also part of his lair protection. And,
Yeah.
That was good fun though. I enjoyed that.
I enjoyed
Yeah,
that. It was
Very
good.
much enjoyed that.
Should we do the sign off, or have you already signed off?
Yeah, we could do the sign off, so we're on ending soon.
Oh, I meant like say goodbye.
Yeah, so you can say goodbye while it's saying.
Which, you know, to wave
Yes,
at the
you can,
people.
yeah, you can do that.
He does this all the time. He just puts, "We're leaving." Sorry, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week when the girls are doing.
Not next week.
Not next week.
It's Christmas.
Oh, not next week. It's Christmas.
Is the week after New Year's Eve?
Yes.
I don't have plans on New Year's Eve because I am a double dad now and also loads of COVID and things like that. So we can do this campaign on New Year's Eve if you want to.
It's up to you
Works
guys.
for me, works for me.
I don't have a life.
I'll get back to you
unless the
on
bar's
it.
open, which
Basically-
I don't think it will be.
Put a message on the group and
Yeah.
I'm open to running a session if everyone is, but I won't start a campaign without everyone. So just
Cool.
please let me know if you can't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, no
Cool,
worries.
sounds
All right,
good
then.
to me.
Cheers, guys. Good
See you
night.
later,
God
thank
bless.
you.
Hang up.